that in a minute. By the time Asmon plays Baldur's Gate 3, he will have
All right.
reacted to the whole
We're
game.
here.
Yeah, in the year 2027, whenever I finally play the game, I'll know everything that's going to happen in the future. Disney executives be like,
Okay, live action Tangled movie. What we got?
That's true, though.
Rapunzel is traditionally a beautiful blonde with green eyes. What if we just...
The thing about Baldur's Gate 3 is that I'm like afraid to be on the internet because I keep seeing little revelations of the game that I haven't come across yet, and I want to see them for the first time. So I'm just like, I gotta go into a hole. What can I do?
Pink Smith.
But she's bald. Uh-huh. But what is Flynn gonna hold on to climb the tower?
Hair grows other places.
Okay, but who's gonna play Flynn?
Who do you think?
No.
Oh yeah, Will already signed the contract. And you know how in the movie the
Will
stepmother
Smith?
traps her in a castle? We can't have women. So we're gonna make her a stepfather.
Genius. Okay, go off king.
Yeah.
Who's gonna play him?
Chris Rock.
What?
Yeah. And Flynn's not gonna have a frying pan. She's gonna slap people. But we also wanted to change
Oh,
the
that's
name
good.
of the movie. Not Tangled? Then what?
Balded.
oh, wow.
We're gonna ruin people's childhoods.
Jesus Christ.
You know what's great about that video? The gum chewing is such an obnoxious trait to observe. And so he's doing that purposefully to make Disney execs seem obnoxious. Well done.
The DLC that's already able to be purchased before it's even released? Wait, what? Bro, what are you talking about? Let me see this real quick. There's a fucking, like, buy it, the collector's edition. I mean, collector's edition isn't a big deal. That's not DLC. Is it? What is this? Let me read it. Starfield has day one DLC. Oh, let me make sure that I'm... fuck it. I'm just not even gonna worry about this right now. I tried to log in ahead of time. I just don't want to deal with it right now. Let's see here. Shattered Space. Well, no, I don't believe this. Shattered Space Starfield. Starfield Shattered Space release date. Shattered Space DLC. Wait, what? Okay, so what is the Starfield Shattered Space DLC? Despite Starfield being one of the biggest Bethesda games ever made, if not the biggest, the developer isn't content with leaving it as it is, revealing that there's at least one expansion already planned. Shattered Space release date Oh, this is... Well, I mean, like, who gives a fuck about this? That's the name for the DLC of the game. Why don't you pay $30 for a main story expansion on a game that isn't released yet? Well, wait. Like, it's not even out, it says. Yeah, it's not even out.
I went to unmute my mic, almost spilt my coffee. What a recovery.
Can you buy it, though?
I'm a god. Just a little splish. Not too much splash.
With Deluxe Edition. Premium Edition comes with it. So you can buy it then. Okay. Check the Deluxe page on Steam. I was trying to. I'm just having problems trying to load it. Okay, Starfield. Let me just look at this and see for myself, all right? I'm going to open it up on Steam. Okay.
Oh, shit.
Okay, so this is the Steam page of Starfield, okay? So we've got pre-purchase Starfield for the low price of $69.99. Pre-purchase Starfield Digital Premium Edition for the low price of $99.99. And what do you get from Starfield Digital Premium Edition? For anybody who has fucking bad eyesight, I will read it. Early access up to 5 days. Actual playtime depends on purchase date and is subject to possible outages and applicable time zone. Okay, so it's not going to work on release. And you also get, oh my god, well, they are selling it then. So they are selling day one DLC. Holy shit. Well, how about that? It says it underneath. Yeah, look below it. What did I miss something? I don't believe I did. Oh shit. Okay, I didn't read it. I apologize. Let me pull it up again, okay? The premium edition. Okay, this is what the premium edition of Starfield is, and this is $100, by the way. Starfield base game, Shattered Space story expansion upon release. So buying the premium edition gets you the pre-order for the DLC. And then you also get like an art book and some other bullshit like that. So yeah, so what you're doing here is basically, okay, so you're doing a pre-order so that you can pre-order the DLC. It's a pre-order for another pre-order. So they are selling it.
Pre-order-ception.
It is available for purchase. It is not available to play. I don't know if that's better or worse. Probably better, but it's still not super cool. But yeah, I think they did this one of the Skyrim DLCs. I have no idea. It's for people who want to.
In the same way that I am doing a React-ception, they're doing a pre-order-ception. How unique. Gotta give credit where credit's due. That's creative.
Time that I look at it, I will say that my first impression of Starfield was meh, and afterwards my expectations have only been improved. However, having people pre-order day one DLC for a game that's not even out yet, is this 2023 gaming here? Are we gaming in 2023?
That's what I've come to expect
I think that
now.
we could be. Yeah. Remnant did the same thing, dude. I don't remember.
That's why I'm saying Baldur's Gate 3 is setting a new standard of expectations for gamers that hasn't been seen in a very long time. A finished product where you pay a price and enjoy.
It is ridiculous to pre-order for a pre-order, okay? What are we talking about? This is ridiculous. It is. So...
Because the majority of people who buy that deluxe edition or whatever, they're buying it for pre-purchasing the extra content. But that should have just been built in. Or sold later.
Know what you're buying, right? I mean, at least not really actually. But you kind of do. I think that this is just them like cashing in on hype, you know?
It is.
They're doing this because they can get away with it. Yep, they can. And there's a lot of people that are huge Bethesda fans, and they will love it. They will be so happy to buy this because they like the games. But yeah, I don't know. This is not even day one DLC. I would say like day one DLC is like, I mean, a video game, like, at the end of the day, it can be monetized however people want it to be monetized, right? I mean, fuck. Everybody's gonna do what they want to do. But whenever you have a video game that has day one DLC, that kind of sucks, man. It does. Remnant 2 and a lot of the games have season passes of DLC. Do this, it's insane people are jumping on it like this. I mean, I don't know. It's just like, I don't know what Remnant 2 did. I have no idea. I just think that the... I don't know. Like, I mean... I'm not saying that this is the worst thing ever.
It's not the best thing ever.
But can we just agree that it is kind of ridiculous to ask people to pre-order a DLC in a game that they're pre-ordering? You're asking people to make a
Who
a theoretical
disagrees?
purchase on something that they don't even know what the base game is.
Someone said
this
so.
is crazy.
No, it's not.
And I'm
It's
not saying that
called
they can't do it. I'm
pre-production.
not saying this is a terrible thing. It's super predatory or anything like that. People know what they're getting. It is what it is. But I just think it's kind of funny. Damn. Let's look at a few more of these. Don't ask questions, just consume product and then get excited for the next product. Oh boy. Modern video games is like riding a roller coaster into your own grave. Yeah, it's good. But you have to pay money every single time that you do it. Destiny 1 did the same thing. Well, Destiny 1 I wouldn't really use as a foundation for good monetization. I'll ignore it until I try Starfield. Yep, that's true too. Games launching after Baldur's Gate 3 will experience a different reaction from the consumers. No, I don't really think so. I think the problem is that video gaming is so popular that because it's so popular, there's never going to be a point where you can reach a saturation point that distaste with the genre is going to amount to anything.
Wouldn't it be crazy if people actually banded together and didn't buy into things like this and force the company to change their position? That won't happen, though. I'm just saying, wouldn't it be cool?
I think no one's pre-ordering this edition solely because of the DLC. Really? I feel like the DLC is the biggest value add.
That's the only reason people are buying it. Who said that?
Order a collector's edition and they gave me DLC ahead of time, that would be the biggest inducement for me to do it.
Absolutely.
I think it's the opposite.
Yes.
That's the main reason. Early access? Oh, that is... yeah, I guess early access is a big one, too.
No, it's not.
Would I care about that if I wasn't a streamer? Probably not, but who knows?
Yeah, exactly. It's streamer specific.
Depends. It's infuriating. It's not... I don't think it's... Again, it's not the biggest deal, but I do think it is kind of... It is... we can all agree it is kind of ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
Something new every day watching VTubers.
Do you know leche de rata?
Rat milk? Dear milk rats!
I'm gonna send you a picture.
Oh my god!
It's leche de
No way,
rata.
it's real. Can rats be milked? We have been successful in milking rats directly!
Look at the top of the bottle. Look what it says.
22 rats!
What?
22 rats!
It even says, "Y más proteína que la leche de vaca."
So there's a lot of protein.
Yeah, more than the cow.
More than the cow.
More than the cow.
Such a small body, though.
Yeah, but
Rat
they should-
That's why you get 22 of them.
I want to see how they milk it. I see how
How do they milk it?
they seduce it. Seduce it. Seduct it.
Sedate?
Sedate.
They seduce it.
I was gonna say.
What the hell?
Fuck. That
Man,
is
VTubers be
fucking
weird.
nasty. Oh my god. That is disgusting.
Not only is it disgusting, but I'm also a little bit disgusted by that voice. Like, you don't talk like that. You're putting that on, and it's annoying.
What's the evidence of this?
If you do talk like that, I'm sorry.
It's been removed.
But I'm not sorry as of right now.
Why did it get removed?
Sounds like she's talking to a dog perpetually.
Yeah, why they get removed?
Extra life, eh?
Is anybody talking about this? Like, I'm actually kind of curious. I guess not. They got paid off? I don't know. Probably need a way to way back it. Maybe it was bogus, bro. Yeah, I mean, it could have been bullshit, too. Redditors are actual bots, so is F Extra Life really doing anything? Well, I mean, like, I think that they're scumbags. I've said this multiple times. Let's see, are they live right now? Surprisingly, no. F Extra Life, they're view botters, they're scumbags. They're like, I think they're a joke. I've said this multiple times. It is a disgrace. And you know what's funny to me is that Twitch lets it happen. And the thing is, like, I'll say this too. Twitch lets it happen. Like, I mean, fuck, how can I get mad at them if they're playing the game? Like, they're not breaking any rules. I think they're scumbags, and I think they're view botters, but they're technically not breaking any rules. So, you know, I mean, I can get mad at them, but why would I get mad at them whenever Twitch is the one that is controlling it and they're letting it happen? So fuck. 40k viewers, 10 people talking in chat. There's a bunch of info on it on Baldur's Gate 3 builds. But I'd have to see the link to it myself. They saw this huge success from Elden Ring and they're riding the wave since. It's smart. Can you explain who or what they are? So basically, F Extra Life is a they're a wiki website, and they embed inside of the wiki their stream, which then bots their stream up to the top of pretty much any directory.
It's
They'll
so
have
annoying.
Anywhere between 10 to 40,000 viewers regularly whenever there's nobody talking in chat. And they'll take up a directory slot from somebody who should be there. And I made this argument many times that directory slots are extremely important. They have a tremendous amount of value, and they are the way that people get discovered on Twitch. So what ends up happening is that you have some view botter, which is really what embedding is. Embedding is view botting. There is functionally no difference between the two things. You are adding viewers to the stream that are not real viewers. So it's the same thing. Like, that's it.
Here's the part where I diverge, because I've embedded on my own website before. And if you embed on your own website, there's a button to click Start Watching. So they're doing some kind of clever embedding that opts the user in. That's manipulative. But if you just have the stream live and it default starts on mute or isn't running because you have to go through the age gate of this is mature content, that's fine. Because then that's actually a viewer engaging with that element on the website. That's different.
Right? So this has been a problem for quite a long time.
A few years at least.
Twitch has decided to do nothing about it.
Yeah, ads still get served.
So they can keep doing it. I mean, fuck. They make a lot of money off of it. I guarantee you they're selling sponsored. How does that affect sponsorships? It affects them massively. Anybody that sponsors them is getting scammed.
Yeah.
Because anytime that you look at their viewership, that's not authentic viewership, and those people aren't actually watching the stream. So if you're showing their viewership and it shows like, yeah, oh, we're selling 40,000 concurrent viewers. No, you're not.
Right.
You're selling something like, 500 concurrent viewers.
Not even.
Let me see here. Primarian found the link. Let me see if I can find this. I'll look at it real quick. Mod link? Yeah, I've got it. Update. F Extra Life links likely to be blacklisted. As discussed in this post, I suspected the bots were downvoting links to the community wiki, but I was not 100% certain of who was doing it. Although I had my suspicions. And this is an updated post, TLDR examples. And so basically, there's a lot of information here. So I'm going to have to kind of paraphrase a lot of it here. And several comments, community wiki are getting downvoted arbitrarily. I mean, this is always what my perspective is that whenever somebody is doing one thing that's shady, they're probably doing other things that are also shady. Like, that's just, I don't know, common fucking sense. Isn't embedding and viewbotting different? Functionally, no. Technically, yes. So, like, yes, it is absolutely different, like, if you want to get down to technicalities, but what is the difference, really? Sponsors should just look at the chat activity to sponsor people. Just ignore a number of views altogether. I think you should use an aggregate of multiple resources. Downvoting the community wiki links via bots is so scummy. Well, so is viewbotting yourself.
You know what I want to check right now? OTK website. OTK network. I really hate this cursor. It's so ugly. But anyway. Okay, they don't embed their stream. Fair enough.
Count is such a massive deciding factor into which streams are popular and which ones are not. It hurts smaller creators, and it hurts anybody else who's smaller than the creator who's viewbotting, because it pushes them down on the directory, and directories are the largest way that you get discovered on Twitch, so you're effectively creating a profit incentive to viewbot, effectively. So, yeah. Rep emotes on phones, I don't know. It's also investor poison. It is. It's, yeah, if you're showing that amount of viewers, it's not real. Do embedded streams still get ads? Usually no, but sometimes yes. One user made a comment with harsh words for F Extra Life, which I don't necessarily condone, but proved useful. What's this? F Extra Life is pretty shit. They're embedded streams on a website to fake numbers, and the wiki's usually pretty terrible. I don't really know if the wikis are good or not. I have no idea. I'm just mainly talking about the Twitch streams. So a few minutes is downvoted to -9. Now possibilities some folks will align towards F Extra Life for lingering on a 2-year-old post, or bots are coming through and downvoting anything that's critical towards them. They could also just be searching the name on Reddit and then downvoting with like a group of people. Remember whenever you had the call with Baggins, he explained it quite well. Well, the thing is, like, for example, if somebody explained to me why they rob banks, I would be like, oh yeah, for sure, it totally makes sense, because there's a lot of money at the bank, and so if you rob the bank, then you get the money, and so it's like, well, fuck, now you have a bunch of money. Like, I don't know, I think it makes a lot of sense why somebody would rob a bank, right? I mean, if you get away with it. So, like, of course, I understand why they're doing it. And I don't think that, like, really, I'm not trying to shit on them all that much. I think that I'm kind of shitting on them, and I think they deserve it. But I'm primarily shitting on Twitch, because Twitch are the ones that let this happen.
Yeah, but you can't disallow embedding streams on third-party websites. A lot of people want to create an ecosystem around their brand. Twitch is just one element to their entire brand. And they need to be able to represent the fact that they have a Twitch on their website to people who don't normally go on Twitch.
Of, hey, people like seeing this, which will, I think, deteriorate the quality of the content. Like, for example, you watch F Extra Life stream Baldur's Gate 3, and like a new person to Twitch is going to click the first stream, right? And then the second stream is, let's say, Soda Poppin' or Lyric. Well, guess what? I bet the F Extra Life stream isn't that entertaining. That's why they have to viewbot. So this person is now getting a worse experience on Twitch because of like an exploit that's being used to deliver a bad experience to the end user. Or co-carnage, yeah. I've been embedding viewers for years at this point. Clearly Twitch doesn't care. No, they don't care. I talk about this every once in a while. I saw that King Galothian, I don't know how to pronounce his name. I apologize if I said it wrong.
Somebody's been embedding viewers?
Stop letting embedded views count towards live view count. And this is really the problem. If Twitch could remove embedded views counting towards live view count, this would instantly solve it, and it wouldn't matter at all. But if Twitch did that, then nobody would be embedding, because that's why they're embedding. The majority of embedded views don't know they're counting as a metric. On top of that, it hurts directories and streamers who do things legitimately. So there's a number of examples of this. I think New World Database is one of them. I don't know if they're still doing it right now. I'll have to go ahead and see. Yeah, so as you can see here, I'm being served a commercial for an ad in the corner here. Now, do you think that the advertiser right now is getting their money's worth for this advertisement? Do you think they're getting their money's worth? No, I don't think so. And so you can see here, and you're going to look at this person's Twitch stream. Let's go ahead and pull this person up. They have 500 viewers. And they're literally just listening to the New World soundtrack, spamming ads. That's it. They're literally just listening. They're spamming ads, exploiting the system, fucking over to the advertisers, putting everybody's money at risk, damaging real streamers.
That's why it's so hard to be a streamer. And that's why you get paid pennies for like serving hours of ads.
People do it. Free money glitch. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, again, like Twitch allows this to happen. So what the fuck am I going to do? Am I going to get really, like, I am annoyed by this. I am. I think it's stupid. I think it's ridiculous that this is even a conversation.
It's very sad.
Fuck. Like, I mean, what am I going to do? Like, I mean, if it's their website, I mean, if they want to run it like morons, then it's that's their prerogative. But I sure think it's a bad decision. Isn't that the ad agency's problem? Well, it is, but the ad agency's problem becomes Twitch's problem. Twitch has said multiple times that they're fine with it. CEO told Cole Carn.
As if the ad agency is going to put the onus on themselves to monitor every single channel in which they advertise. Twitch is one of like 1,000 ways that you can advertise.
Just a second. Yeah, I mean, fuck. Yeah, everybody should start embedding. Because it's like, you know, in Mists of Pandaria, everybody was using a kickbot. Everybody was DDoSing. And if you weren't kickbotting, if you weren't DDoSing, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. So I think everybody should start doing it. Fuck. Like, maybe I should look into doing this too. Yeah, why not?
Why? Why are you saying this? That's the worst advice ever.
Sponsors, why would they mind? Because they're delivering a metric that is fundamentally inauthentic. That's why. You are delivering a number that you know is not real. It's literally that simple. Doesn't Twitch also heavily weigh paid subs or Prime subs when it comes to paying streamers? I don't know about that. F Extra Life also blocks and tries to block VPN users in order to acquire your actual IP address to collect and force their own ads to your Windows notifications that sell IP to third parties. Browser casuals, beware.
What?
I don't know about any of that. I can't confirm that. But
that sounded so tinfoil hat. I've never heard of that.
if somebody does one scumbag thing, you can expect it to happen a lot more often. So yeah, I think that embedding should be the new meta. Absolutely. Watching streams takes up a lot of bandwidth. If you have a cap, the embedded streams are actively stealing from you. Well, I mean, again, if you listen, if you can, it will happen. If it is effective and it works, people will do it. Fuck. I mean, it's really not that complicated. Actually, OTK could fix this by advertising PCs to the Twitch ad platforms, then make a complaint. I don't really think that we could do that, to be honest with you. We don't, realistically, we don't have that level of clout. But I think that more streamers should be outspoken about this for sure. Yeah, if the game allows it, you can't blame players for doing it. Exactly. Yeah, don't hate the player, hate the game. So yeah. You see if Extra Life's take on Armored Core, it's hypocritical on the graphics and gameplay. Well, I don't care about that. That's fine. I mean, just, you know, their opinion on a video game, like, that's okay. I'm talking about something that actually matters. Yeah. Did probably work second job, just rakes in thousands of ad money monthly? Yeah. Yeah, let's see here. Does Kick Rumble and YouTube not allow it? I don't know. I mean, I'm no Diablo fan, but yeah, anyway, overall, they probably are botting. I don't know this. Like, I can't, like, say, oh, yeah, this is happening for sure. But
I'm confident in saying that they are, because every time I go to that website, I see an embedded stream that's just active without any of my interactions. So I think they've hacked the embed.
thing is the same as view botting, and anybody that does it is a piece of shit.
I disagree with that. I think there are certain kinds of embedding that I've done where, you know, if I'm running my stream, like, you still have to click and interact for the stream to tune in. It's just creating a channel within which you can view it if you want, but you have to opt in. It's not default opt-in.
Somebody else beat you on a video game streaming website, you gotta cheat the fuck out of the system. Absolutely. Exploit early, exploit often. That's right. It will change when it becomes a problem. Exactly. Everybody should do it. I mean, I'm no Diablo 4 fan, but I think, I think they finally jerked themselves out of reality and our world this time. What is live service about Diablo? They don't do any weekly activities. They haven't added any other new dungeons to the Nightmare Pool. There's no special weekend events. You're doing the same thing you did last month. Releasing seasonal content and calling it live service is just false marketing. Diablo 3 did the same thing but never claimed to be a live service. Most live service thing Diablo 4 did was nerf every character class. I mean, isn't this kind of like what PoE does, though? Like, it's not like PoE has weekly activities, really. They don't have special weekend events, either. I mean, I don't really think this is... This is a live service. Is the new beta tag so we can push fast updates. Nerfs for fun occur at the speed of live service. Buffs occur at the speed of major patches. That's true. PoE is as trading, though? Yeah, it's free, though. I don't see what the point... Like, you're not comparing whether it's free or not. You're comparing whether it's live service or not. It being free doesn't have any... PoE also has gacha in it. It also has, like, loot boxes. So, like, I don't know. I mean, fuck. Like, it has pay for convenience, and Diablo 4 doesn't have that. I mean, I think PoE is definitely better. Like, I'm not saying it's like perfect, right? I mean, you're comparing two different things. Yeah. Fortnite did it best. Yeah, it seems that way. I did see this here. Based moment. I'll train it and take it on walks and everything. What the fuck is this anime? China has found the answer to global warming. China is painting mountains green to fool environmentalists. No, really.
No shot.
Yes, that is a man stapling fake leaves to a tree. And yes, these are Chinese work crews rolling down fake leaves and fake camo netting over barren, destroyed mountains to make them look green and natural again.
Just like what I said, gentlemen. Don't hate the player, hate the game.
If you're not cheating, you're not trying, apparently. That's
I know some
unbelievable.
environmentalists
I wonder how much money this costs.
move mountains to save the environment. But in China,
They
why
paint
move
them.
mountains when you can simply paint them?
Yeah, it's a good one.
A number of years ago, I was shocked to my core when I saw in China the local, I guess, municipality or the local town painting the brown grass green.
Smart.
I'm talking on an industrial
Smart.
scale.
There
here.
it is.
I was there and they had these workers.
Well,
and
couldn't they just paint it green by putting water on it, though? Like, yeah, because, like, if you water it, wouldn't it just... Like, I don't know. It's too
No, because
polluted.
the air is too polluted.
out
There's
their
so much
little,
smog.
sprayer guns
Modern
and they had a truck
problems
and everything,
require
and they
modern
painted the
solutions.
grass green.
Oh, that's amazing.
It smelt of chemicals, it smelt disgusting, and I was really blown away. I was like thinking to myself, this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. Usually if grass is not green and it's brown, well, it means that it's not getting enough water,
Yeah.
maybe not enough sunshine, maybe not enough nutrients or fertilizer,
True.
the soil's bad. Why would anyone spray paint the grass green? Now, before anyone jumps down my throat saying that, oh, this happens elsewhere in the world, yes. During research for this video, I of course figured out that many places paint the grass green. I'm talking about golf courses, places like Disneyland. If they've got a brown patch, they've got a special kind of a grass paint, for lack of a better word. It's supposed to be a kind of an organic dye that doesn't damage the grass itself,
Yeah.
but it makes it green. in California during drought times, they've got companies that can come paint your lawn for you. I understand that this is not a new
Yeah, of course, that's in California.
thing, and it makes sense because China would have had to get the idea from somewhere. The difference is that in China, they're not using organic dyes or some kind of nutrient. They're using oil paint and spray paint.
Bro, they're just out there with a spray paint can. Nah, this shit's green now, bro.
Jesus.
Nah, bro, this is green.
And things like that.
Oh my
And it's
god.
not just the grass that they're painting.
The trees.
They paint trees.
Oh, that's good.
They paint mountains.
Smart.
Well, pretty much anything. They
Green
paint
rocks. Completely natural.
rocks in a quarry. And I have to
wow.
explain to you why this happens. It's not like all of a sudden China's decided that green is a better aesthetic.
It's like
for their
environmentalism
mountain rock
to
faces or
meet
something
different
like that.
standards or quotas.
And I'll tell you the first time I remember really finding out about this phenomenon. And that was
Let's
around
see.
about 2007.
Oh,
What
that's
the?
crazy.
That's
Yeah, no,
TikTok
I'm not
for
that
you.
surprised. I mean, sure, of course they're gonna do dumbass shit like that. Communist leaders were always known for idiotic solutions to problems. Oh, I guess that's why it was happening in California too. Yeah, that's actually a really good insight. I see where you're going there. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I'm not surprised about this at all. Green means go. Yeah, I mean, what the fuck? This 2007 thing in China, it's not news at all. Do people not know this? No, I don't think that people know that that they paint grass green in certain places. I have no idea. What's this? Oh, I saw this clip. I think this is one like LSF or something. Parents suing Roblox for not taking action against underage gambling. Wait, why? Parents filed a class action complaint for damages against Roblox. The nature of
Whoa.
the actions are... Uh-oh. Concerning an illegal gambling operation that is preying on children. Roblox and co-conspirators maintain and facilitate an illegal gambling ecosystem targeted at children. Roblox systematically takes advantage of their audience. 75% are children between the ages of 9 to 12. Roblox allows third-party gambling websites to use the Roblox website to accept online bets using their in-game currency, Robux.
Oh
All
my
of
god.
the gambling happening here are not being monitored by Roblox. The gambling websites essentially took control of the Roblox currency. If you gamble in their site, they will exchange their currency credits for Robux whenever you cash out.
It's like those CSGO skins websites where you trade in your skins and you can gamble with them, but they've invaded Roblox, which is full of 12-year-olds. That's insane.
They're actually getting sued.
Yeah. Holy cow.
Let's read a few of these. Yep, there it is. Roblox has been surrounded by a deluge of negative attention as a dangerous space for children. Multiple child advocacy agencies and consumer protection groups have spoken about it. Roblox is targeting children with deceptive commercial advertising. Yep, I've seen this too. Uh-oh. Better Call Saul. Yep, true.
Better Call Saul.
Oh, here we go. Roblox, along with its co-defendants, is behind another growing problem that has ensnared hundreds of thousands of its adolescent and teen users, causing substantial financial loss. Illegal online gambling. Oh, that's cute. Oh, people love that. That's my favorite thing. In terms of service, Roblox misleadingly presents parents and users that the platform and digital currency are safe. Further, Roblox explicitly represents that experiences that include simulated gambling, including playing with virtual chips, simulated betting, or exchanging real money, Robux, or any inexperienced items of value are not allowed. But this representation is false or misleading at best. Yeah, I think we should make a class action lawsuit against Blizzard for letting them do bots, too. Because they said in their terms of service that you're not allowed to bot. But if you play Classic WoW, that's a whole different situation, ain't it? Roblox is one of those predatory games on the market, making millions off children's gambling. The most expensive item was bought for $47,000. That's a lot. It's a lot of allowances. Let's see here. Gambling website defendants. Yeah, use Roblox website to accept online bets using Robux to be placed on the gambling website. Oh my god. That is incredible. Well,
What the heck?
I mean, how are they wrong? Yeah, I mean, fuck, man. How are they wrong? It's an parent would just disable microtransactions on their children's account. I think that both things are true. I think that blaming this instead of your bad parenting is an excuse. And I also think that they shouldn't have underage gambling. Every single parent should be competent enough to understand what type of content their children are consuming. It's bad parenting, but it's still predatory. Yes, both things are true. Children just shouldn't play Roblox in general? Why? Why is Roblox bad in general? I feel like Roblox having gambling doesn't mean Roblox is bad. It just means that gambling in Roblox is bad. Like, what are we talking
Gambling
about?
is bad. If you want to take it that far.
What's this video?
It's time to improve your.
It's time to skip
Oh, maybe
the
I should
YouTube
look at that.
ads.
How Oh, I saw this.
This story began.
Yeah. How Roblox is exploiting young game developers. This is 2 years ago. I probably should watch this anyway, though. We asked whether kids making the vast majority of its content are being taken advantage of.
Young game
I
developers.
don't think that, like,
Well, that's
I'd
different.
have to watch the, I'd have to read this, but I don't agree that providing kids with a platform to make video games is fundamentally predatory, even if they make money off of it. I don't see that as an issue. It's whatever to me. Yeah, I mean, the kids are, they're doing it. I mean, it's not like they're compelled to do it. They're doing it voluntarily. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I'd have to look and see what their argument is. Is being technologically illiterate an excuse? My parents know nothing about the internet and gaming when I was growing up. I easily hid so much from them. Well, it is an excuse, but it's only an excuse. And so, yeah, I understand parents don't know shit about video games, but if you're getting outsmarted by a 9-year-old, maybe you're just fucking stupid.
Maybe.
Like, what are we talking about? Like, you're getting outsmarted by a 9-year-old? Like, what are we, like, oh, the parents can't figure, you think you, so so the 9-year-old's smarter than you then, is that right? And this is the company's fault? Now you need to be paid a large sum of money because you've just been finessed by a 9-year-old? Your kid? Uh-huh. Right. It's ridiculous. It's a mix of both bad parenting and government not taking action. Well, it should be Roblox taking action, to be fair. The service is provided to 9-year-old. Of course, it's the company's fault. It is, but I think that even whenever it is being provided, it should still be a parent's ultimate responsibility to do due diligence on what their kids are consuming on the internet. Of course.
What is the company meant to do? Are they supposed to, like, go into each individual's home and understand what the parents accept and don't accept, which is unique to each family, and then impose upon the user in a way that makes people not want to play the game? Of course it's the parents' responsibility.
For Asian countries, people just can't sue them. Well, you can in some ways. But yeah, for sure, parents W. My child doing gambling, not my fault, so I have to file a lawsuit against Roblox. Well, I think that it's, I mean, like, listen, it's both. Like, of course this is parents offloading responsibility to Roblox because they're bad parents. Absolutely. But it's also Roblox making money off of child gambling. Like, why can't it just be both? I don't know. I hope this goes through. I think this stuff is not good. Filing a lawsuit is taking action. Well, it's taking action, but it's a displacement of responsibility. I think that the individual, like the kid, the parent should be responsible too for what the kid does. Like, and let's just get down to brass tacks here, okay? There are a lot of very, very raunchy, bad interactions that happen on the internet. Everybody knows this. And if you
Right.
don't know this, you're not being a good parent. Like, you don't need to be a genius to know this. You don't have to be like a fucking science. You don't have to work at NASA to know this. Get the fuck out of here. So if you're letting your kid go on the internet unsupervised, knowing that's the case, then maybe sometimes whenever your kid sees something that they shouldn't see, maybe it's not always the world's fault. Maybe.
Yeah, you should be setting guidelines and limitations and talking to your kid. Like, one of the most important things I think is if your kid is into gaming, a good parent should be into gaming with their kid. Because then you have an awareness of how they interact with the internet and people online, and you can talk about it.
Some people. I'm sure this is very upsetting for you because it's not a black and white thing, but the parents are stupid and they're displacing responsibility onto the company.
Right.
Which I think is partially their own responsibility, that they're trying to just say, oh, it's not us, it's the company, right? Definitely part of that. But I also think the company should be liable as well. Yeah.
To a limited extent. Otherwise, you're just going to scare all developers into making games only for adults. Games will never be for children anymore. Like, there's an onus, there's a responsibility on the parent to say, this is how you should be engaging online. Here are some things that have happened. Let's talk about, like, scammers, you know, ploys, the downfalls of gambling. Like, expose your child to content that displays what can happen if you fall into these traps, and then they'll avoid them.
That's what I think. Lazy parents.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Or, like, very busy parents, but then why did you become a parent if you're not willing to make the time? Like, you've made a commitment. You're creating this life. That's your life now. So take responsibility, suck it up, put the beer aside, you know, put your own games aside, and help your kid out.
You should actually be sad because your game's about to fucking die.
Are you tired of open world anime RPGs yet? Because
No.
China certainly isn't tired of trying to push them out, trying to force them down our throats. If Genshin Impact isn't enough for you, if Tower of Fantasy wasn't enough for you.
I mean, I feel like those games at least look good and they play well. I'd take dozens of Genshin Impacts if it means that I don't have to look at some fucking weird, like, new Fable main character running around in some bullshit universe that you have to pay $5 to access every single different type of DLC for. Like, let's be honest, okay? Yeah, I prefer that.
If Wuthering Waves isn't enough to be excited for, then you might be shocked to learn that as of today, a brand new Genshin killer was revealed to the world. And on the 24th of August,
It just says the RPG.
seeing full in-game footage, a trailer, new information, because currently all we have is the announcement.
Project Mugen is the next PS5 gotcha gunning for Genshin Impact's crowned. Okay.
Of the kind
Project
of game it is,
Mugen.
some GIFs of gameplay, and a Twitter with one single tweet made. Before we go ahead
136 followers.
and jump into this video, though, I want to take a moment here to thank today's sponsor, Tower of God New World. By now, you've no doubt heard about Tower of God, the critically acclaimed webtoon with over 6 billion views worldwide. And if you haven't, well, look at that.
Bro, they changed the New World up a lot, so they're going with an anime vibe now?
And now you have something new to do this weekend. Tower of God New World is a 3D mobile game based on the webtoon series.
What the
with
fuck?
Gameplay revolving around strategic combat, synergizing your team with a variety
whatever
of
happened
different
to the
characters,
corruption?
all who fit different role archetypes, possessing their own elemental affinities and allowing for elemental combinations, which can be useful if you're stuck while climbing the tower.
So you can make her
If
taller?
that sounds like something you'd be interested in,
What?
go ahead and click the link in the description of the pinned comment below to join the hype train during their new summer festival event. This is the perfect time to go ahead and try the game out. There are roughly 70 characters obtainable in game.
I couldn't disagree
100%
more.
guaranteed.
This looks like the dumbest game ever. Like, oh, let's show off the bikini chick.
which is important.
Dr. Robotnik crab.
There are a lot of unique combinations present, even with R or SR rank units that could lead you to victory in a ton of different ways.
You're actually talking so in depth about this game. You're actually acting like you like this game. How much do you play this game?
200 pity? No, there's like SSR plus. Like, so the reason why they add that is because of whales.
Ongoing and new characters, SSR plus Vial, SSR Shasha are both coming. There's a new summer story mission, summer costumes, summer special missions, and rewards that cannot be missed. So don't download the game.
So ridiculous.
In the description below, and don't miss out. I'm happy to be one of the first content creators here to cover this game, kind of like I was.
People talked to me about this game. I didn't really talk about it at all because I didn't really know what to expect. Like, they just like gave me a name. I didn't have any like what even is this?
Back when Genshin Impact was first announced, when Cry and I first covered it, and then when Tower Fantasy and Blue Protocol were both announced, when once again another YouTuber friend of mine from way back when, Cry and I, covered both.
Andrus UPS reminds you the trip to something begins.
Okay.
NetEase Games announces an urban open world RPG.
I have a feeling that it's gonna have monetization in it. Yeah,
You
I
think?
feel like this game is going to be
You think?
monetized.
What a thought.
I bet it's also going to be free to play.
You think?
For PS5, PC,
I
iOS,
bet
and
it's-
Android. So it's going to be
I don't know.
cross-platform
For the phone.
compatible between
Free to
PC,
play
console,
microtransaction
and
game?
mobile. Just like Genshin Impact and just like Tower Fantasy, you know, like 2
Yep,
years
Honkai
after
Star
Tower
Rail.
Fantasy launched. According to Push Square, Project Mugen is the next PS5 gacha gunning for Genshin Impact's crown. Can they take it? Well, I mean, that's not even a question. No, they can't. The full reveal set for August 23rd, no, August 24th. Publisher NetEase Games and developer Naked Rain. All right.
I mean, the character models and everything are pretty decent, I would say. Like, I think that, like, really, games like this thrive
Naked
on
Rain. So they're gonna be almost naked characters raining upon your wallet.
reasons why, like, the MiHoYo games are so popular. It's because the character design is so strong and the art is so good. Like, if you go to the Honkai Star Rail subreddit, you're not seeing a bunch of people like, oh, I'm trying to build this new character. What stat prio should I use? No, it's a picture of, like...
Yeah. Oh, this bunny girl is my waifu, or whatever.
And then underneath it, it's a picture of Branya. And she's wearing a bikini. And then underneath it, it's another picture of another character also wearing a bikini.
Right.
That's it. That's what people care about.
It's not even about a game, it's about sexualizing artifacts in an online game.
And subsidiary of Thunderfire, Naked Rain. Dude, this is, they're very creative with their names. Wait, so Thunderfire Studio
It's better than Creative Business Unit 3.
is
True.
a subsidiary of NetEase, and Naked Rain is a subsidiary of Thunderfire. Thunderfire has only ever developed one game, which is the same game that Naked Rain has developed. Okay, so this is an urban open world RPG. So it's essentially Genshin Impact, but set in Zenless Zone Zero's world.
I am not a fan of the futuristic cyberspace, cyberpunk type stuff. I don't think that
I like the fantasy scape where it's like mountain ranges or like big fields and stuff like that, forests. This urban city center, I don't think is going to appeal to many people.
because like it's so complex and like the scope of things in those games is just so much farther beyond kind of what people could like know is like real, I guess.
It's going to be a Grand Theft Auto situation where you'll have all these urban buildings in the center, but you can only enter like a tenth of them, and the rest of them are just there for show.
cyber, like, what crazy cyber shit did they do in Sword Art Online? They didn't really do a lot. Yeah, I don't really think so. Like, season 2? Oh yeah. Oh, whenever the show got bad. Oh yeah. Well, I stopped watching it by then because everybody said stop watching the show after season 1. I said, okay, I'll believe you.
Full reveal is planned for August 23rd at 7 p.m. Here's a few preview gifs. I'm gonna go ahead and open these each in a new tab. That way we can get a decent enlarged view of them. I'm gonna be honest with you, the character models we're just looking at from this very first GIF very strongly resembles Endless Zone Zero, which I think is actually a good thing. The combat looks very fluid. I like the special abilities. I can see that there is some weird
There's no way you can explore a massive city like this, bro. If they actually did that, I bet that'd be really cool, but I bet that's not what's going on. There's no shot that you can go around in this whole city. If you could, yeah, this has got to be a skybox.
There's going to be lots of teleporting around.
Spider-Man
over on the side, like it's opening up to some other kind of dimension.
Yeah.
And
this looks. Wait, what the fuck? Can you run people over?
So this is like GTA. The gotcha.
Okay, so it is
GTA, but instead of Grand Theft.
In the sense that a lot of these buildings are going to be inaccessible.
See, I like
mean,
this.
This honestly, you know, the footage we've gotten from the GIFs doesn't look bad. I think the world.
I feel like one thing that these games really miss out on, this is a problem that Wuthering Waves has. I think that it would be like Genshin is different because it's so character based, and I don't really play it a lot, so I don't know. But like, I think you need to have the spontaneous interaction of seeing other players in the open world.
Yeah.
I do. I feel like that adds so much to a game like this. Like, it's so fucking important to me. Nah, I think so, man. Like, I remember all of my best interactions and all of the most interesting points whenever I played Blue Protocol were whenever I was interacting with another person.
But that enables a whole can of worms of people being able to fuck with each other. Not in that way. Although in an anime game like this, also probably in that way. But yeah, I feel like that could be a detriment.
Space where other players, you can see other people in the open world, see what they're doing, interact with them. I think that's so cool, man.
Looks like
and you needed to see how much whales are better than you. Exactly.
It could be kind of cool. It has the potential to be really cool.
I think it's very important.
Set in that kind of modern dystopian urban setting.
I think it's really dystopian.
I don't know if it's necessarily going to appeal to the same audience. I know Genshin, Wuthering, Tower of Fantasy, they all have very vibe.
Oh, I mean, Wuthering Waves is very much the same vibe. I would say even Wuthering Waves goes even farther into the dystopian thing. Like, I mean, this is definitely closer to Wuthering Waves in terms of its, like, design than Genshin.
Vibrant, colorful fantasy settings, whereas this doesn't. But that might be what they're going for here. They might be trying to set themselves apart from the open world anime RPGs that already exist. Because let's be honest, the genre is kind of becoming polluted by bright, vibrant open world games, and there's no reason to continue to try and compete for an audience that is already fairly set in their ways with the games that they play. But
I don't know why, but the yo-yo girl makes me think of a very old game called Jet Set Radio Future, which was kind of like an anime, like everyone's a rollerblader and you fight against people in an urban environment and do tricks and like tag with spray paint. That was fun. If it's anything like that, this game might be interesting.
But like, people are interested in the game. Like, I think any of these games that come out, people will try it.
Website, which is what I was on. 128 hours from when this video is being recorded, everything will be brought to light. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like there's anything on their website other than the splash page. We do have 3 characters we can see. A few more if you factor in the characters from the GIFs. 1, 2, 3. I don't think that's the same character yet. It's a different character. 4. And let's just assume there are like 4 dudes in that car. Like, it's probably not a girl that's driving that car. It's probably a bunch of drunk guys that just all I feel like this is kind of like an urban LA and they're all trying to get to the Anime Expo.
Is that right?
Very little is known about the game right now, other than the fact that it is an open world anime RPG that is apparently going to be very similar to Genshin Impact. Maybe not necessarily Tower Fantasy, because Tower Fantasy is an MMO, but more like Genshin.
I would try this, sure. But like, as I said, I feel like if you have a game like this and there's not going to be a way for you to like interact and see other players out in the open world, expectations and excitement go down for me a lot. Like, I don't know. Like, that's because like we already have games that do it without an open world.
And if anything, their implementation of a multiplayer might just be, oh, well, you can go to each other's house up to 8 players or something, or, you know, some common space, but otherwise most of the game is done by yourself.
The chance of this being good is unfortunately
It's
not
not
that
very
high,
high.
but
Yeah.
they might surprise us. It's unlikely, but I'm still kind of excited. There have been some games with some great potential from NetEase, but they've ultimately failed to live up to that potential thus far. But I mean, they gotta have a hit at some point, right?
It's got to be coming soon, guys.
Might be it. Now, when all the information is made public, I will have an updated video on this featuring everything, a condensed recap of everything that we know, everything that we learned. Until then, this is a brand new Genshin killer. I'm kind of excited to see what happens with it. And if the Genshin community, the Tower Fantasy community, the Wuthering Waves community...
I mean, this guy's the only one who kind of really cares because he's very much invested in the anime verse. I'm not. So I'll probably just sit on the sidelines and see what happens with this game as I continue playing Baldur's Gate 3.
$15,000 in Genshin Impact. They don't want Genshin Impact to die. Because if it dies, then all of their money doesn't matter. Now, it never did, but it especially doesn't matter if the game dies. So yeah, of course people are going to shit on it. Everybody always shits on the new gacha games. That's just how it is. There's only some of them, like the only time that they're viewed positively, which like I'd say like Honkai Star Rail was viewed positively, it's because MiHoYo had already done Genshin Impact. And it was a very different type of game, and the game looked pretty good. That was about it.
Acceptance. Now, if this is not a game that you're interested in, absolutely no problem. I got you covered with 2 different videos on screen right now that might be more interesting to you.
God.
Why, man?
Oh, wow. No one needs to shit on it. It's a NetEase game. It's dead before it's even out. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Have you seen the new Netflix One Piece behind the scenes looks promising? No, I haven't seen that. I just looked at the trailers. I'll link you guys the video. I mean, what do you think? You guys think this is going to kill Genshin Impact? I think more gacha players need to realize competition is good for the consumer. Well, they're not going to realize... Here's why they're not going to realize that. And here's why I think that you're wrong. It's because competition is good for the consumer, but it's not good for them, the individual. Like, as an individual, competition doesn't help them, and it doesn't make things better for them because they've already spent a lot of money on one game.
Sunk cost fallacy is a huge problem. People are already well invested in the Genshin Impact. It's very hard for them to get them to switch. But also, like, if I had to guess, the personality that gets into a Genshin Impact and spends thousands of dollars is someone who's also very invested with the characters. You're not going to just switch to some characters you've never heard of before. No matter how good the art is, no matter how big they draw the boobas, I'm sure there's not much to like sway that person from going where they shouldn't.
Impact. I mean, it's got 10K viewers. That's not super crazy. Oh, is this the femboy that everybody hates? Oh, I saw that. Let's see here. And how many viewers does, like, Honkai Star Rail have? I think I saw it. Where the fuck was it? Honkai Star Rail. Fuck. Yeah, it's at 2K viewers. I mean, it's obviously beating Diablo 4, but that's not very hard to do. And, I mean, where's Tower Fantasy? Oh, jeez.
Not doing so great.
I must have missed
And Blue
it, right?
Protocol,
I have to
200
miss it.
viewers.
Oh, I did. It was at 400. Yeah, so it's just like, yeah, there you go. Old school RuneScape. Well, old school RuneScape isn't an anime girl gotcha, right? And then what about Wuthering Waves? Yeah, nobody's fucking playing that because it's a beta, right? And so it's not really a surprise. But Genshin is still, like, it definitely has, like, a very big community. But I don't think that Genshin is as big as it was 2 years ago. I don't think Genshin is even as big as it was last year. I do think its popularity is kind of, I would say it's going down. Like, let's get the charts out, okay? Google Trends. I don't want to spend like an hour doing this. I'm just going to look at one thing, okay? We're just going to look at Genshin Impact. Genshin Impact video game. Let me just make sure I get this pulled up. Okay. So here we go. And this is obviously in the United States. Let's look at worldwide. And then we'll look at past day. We want to look at past 5 years. Yeah. Prior to the patch, I feel like the interest was definitely pretty low. But again, this is obviously juiced by COVID. Definitely juiced by COVID.
Yeah.
Look at Honkai Star Rail. Yeah, Honkai Star Rail definitely not as big as Genshin. Well, Genshin is just like it's a more expansive game. I mean, it makes sense, right? Look at Diablo 4.
Russia, Belarus, Chile, Ukraine.
Ooh. So Diablo 4 might actually get beaten by Honkai Star Rail. Like, it very soon, Diablo 4 will be below Honkai Star Rail.
Wow.
Look at that drop. Yeah.
The fall off.
What a surprise. Who could have ever predicted that?
Well, yeah,
So,
it's got a certain
again,
shelf
I
life.
don't want to go through like 50 of these different things, but like all I'm saying is that I think that Genshin Impact is still a very popular game, but it's not as popular as it was. So there's definitely like people that are looking for they're looking for like a new game that's like this, that has like the same hype that that Genshin Impact had maybe like 2 years ago or something. That's what I would say. D4, yeah, it's more popular. They've gained players, yeah. Check how much Genshin earns on each character banner. They earn a lot of money. Yeah, I know that because I know that people like anime girls. I could have predicted that. I was at an anime convention this past weekend. Every single booth had something Genshin related. Well, of course it did, because people like cute anime girls.
Yeah.
What are we talking about? Duh.
No
Genshin
big
just released
surprise
one of the best
there.
Stories. The hype is up a lot. Tectone said that he liked it. He did. He said that the story for the new Genshin is actually quite good. So I might have to try it and see what's going on here. I'll watch one video. I don't want to do a whole lot of videos today because I want to play some games, but we'll watch like maybe 1 or 2 small videos, okay? I got on really late today. I'm trying to decide. Oh yeah, Throne and Liberty. I probably should watch this.
Throne and Liberty, huge
Better than
update, changes
Sumeru?
everything.
You think so? The Lucy one?
Did they make it so that you can't just automatically play it anymore? They took away autoplay?
They're streaming for a while. But that's also because I'm like sleeping all the time. Let me see if she's been streaming. 3 days. Oh my god. Jesus. VR chat? Oh, bro, like... Oh, boy. Yeah, what a surprise. Got a new 3D model? I bet. Don't forget the Wayfinder queue. Oh, yeah. Yeah, let me get queued into this. Ooh. Ooh. We know your secret VR chat account? I've never done it. Lucy is unhinged and fun. I think Lucy is really funny. Yeah, I agree. I guess we could watch this.
Blizzard have stopped pretending.
Why not?
Which is the explanation behind Overwatch 2's PvE being
Check more
canceled.
Reddit. I mean, what else happened on Reddit? Is there anything else interesting on Reddit? Let me see real quick.
And putting the WoW token inside of Classic.
So I have to watch this react video. That makes a real difference. Yeah, I'm glad to see some people that like the videos for sure. I do need to. There's like 3 videos about this guy, like Hog, that I need to watch. I haven't done it yet. I felt like a fucking idiot. Overwatch 2 is worse than you think. Asmongold.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Let's see.
Not gonna read that.
Not even drops can help it? What game has drops? Diablo 4? No,
Diablo 4.
Diablo has drops. Oh god, I don't know. I might have to look at that if people like it. Okay. Yeah, I think I've seen pretty much all of these. Oh, yeah, that's what my viewers do. I don't want to watch that. It sounds like just a crazy NPC interaction. Glass scene from the updated Gladiator.
Who are you?
I am the master of the middle finger. Chief ass whooper of sorry sons of bitches.
Steve Austin? Stone Cold Steve Austin?
Truster of no one. And I will stomp a mud hole in your ass and walk it dry.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
My name is Stone Cold Steve Austin. Tonight, I unleash hell!
God damn! I thought this was gonna be fucking stupid, dude. That was awesome.
It's a WWE for
That
you.
was fucking awesome. Holy shit. Check out this simplistic menu. Oh god, I don't need to see that. I'm an vendor at Walmart in the Midwest, and these released today seems bad. What's this? What is this?
Requires game
oh,
internet.
In-game currency. Oh yeah, they have these. Every Walmart has these for everything.
Sure.
Yeah, they have plenty of that. It's not even a big deal. Okay. Let's see back over here. We talked to a PvE dev about why the PvE was canceled. I don't know. I think this is probably not accurate, but let's see here. Fuck, where'd it go? Give me a second, guys. I'm an idiot. Okay, there we go. Bellier says rip Mythic Plus. D4 could have been good. Yeah, but it wasn't. And it was good. It's just good as a casual game, and that's all it's good for, you know?
Sure. Alright. Blizzard being greedy.
Stop pretending.
It's abundantly obvious that Activision Blizzard are not the most popular bunch these days, and it's an interesting thing.
We haven't watched a Bellular video for a while.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute. I like
it hasn't
Bellular.
been long enough because, like, you know, Bellular has the same problem that I do with, like, his hair, you know? So, it hasn't been long enough for there to be, like, a visible difference. But I'm pretty sure by the time Dragonflight is over, you know, if he has to cover, you know, Diablo 4, man, it's going to be a different story.
Longest time they said, even to their own staff, that the good times were always just around the corner.
Yeah.
Now, of course, we're around that corner, and we can actually see what is there. And broadly speaking, it is games that are pretty good, as just games made by designers, but also games that as overall products have severe issues.
They really should have farmed more simps by making Mei unrealistically thick whenever she took off her coat. In like that cinematic, they really could have, like, that really would have taken Overwatch so much farther. That by itself, no, really, like, I mean, that would have done more for the brand than probably adding PvE to Overwatch 2.
what's became clear is they want our time and our money. Now,
Same
that
with
is a fair
Lilith,
thing.
yeah.
It just needs to be a fair exchange of our time and money in return for whatever we get from the publisher. And that is when the feelings of being nickel and dimed don't rest easy with the customer. And
Who's your operator? Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant.
Bro, this game
That was
lost
funny.
the fucking plot. Who the fuck wants to play Kevin Durant? It's the dumbest fucking thing. It's a bunny version of Kevin Durant. Easter Kevin Durant.
Kevin
that
Durant.
is exactly the problem we're seeing now. More egregious business models,
Oh my
right?
God.
Because the way that they're handling their battle passes and handling their microtransactions do actually manage with just that little bit
That
of
guy looked like a cyberpunk version of the Island Boy.
extra craftiness to stick out in the industry. And if you are coming to this video being somebody that knows of Diablo 4, knows of
You see that?
Overwatch 2, but maybe doesn't know
Jesus,
as much
the
about
dog,
World of
yeah.
Warcraft, trust me, I've got a great story
Well, the
about
dog. They used the. Never mind.
the goddamn crafty
Oh,
thing
boy.
that they have just started doing in World of Warcraft.
Okay, here we
and
go.
I think you're going to love it, or at the very least find it grimly interesting.
Yeah.
So that's the situation. Amazing as games, really honestly quite dubious as products. So let's dive in to the microtransactions of Activision Blizzard and go across the whole group in a worldwide tour provided by our sponsor. Polish up your goopy gamer brain. I mean, I know mine needs it. And if you
Brilliant.
want to learn topics like maths and computer science, essentially become that modern day wizard, then interactively break big problems down into small ones, learn and understand with brilliant.org/bellular news.
I should make my viewers do this, especially for statistics. I'll like say a statistic and people be like, well, that's not the same for me. Well, I don't think like that.
I don't think
The first
good.
200 to click my link, get 20% off an annual plan, and
What the heck?
they've got a 30-day free trial, so why not? It's worth it. I mean, take the number crunching that goes into video games, right? Well, if you got started learning the fundamentals of computer science, a 3-part course that takes you through the pillars of the field, then perhaps hit up neural nets and algorithms, then you'll get a really good understanding of how things actually work. In one of the games that I play back in the Battle for Azeroth expansion, lag in the game completely exploded. It got insane, and the reason why is the sort of thing you will learn here.
Well, the reason why the lag was bad is you had to load in every single Azerite trait that anybody could have theoretically had, and you had to load in the numerical calculated values of Azerite trait damage from the Azerite gear that
Right.
the player had in their bank and on their character. So that's why the lag was bad. And that
It's a
was also
lot.
for every single layer. So even if you were on a different layer, you still had to do it.
And they do so much more, partnering with amazing creators like Sabine Hossenfelder, Real Engineering, and Kurzgesagt. Brilliant basically takes the stuff that wasn't fun in school unless you had a total legend of a teacher, and it actually makes it exciting and fun. Approaching things here as an adult, I get a sense of accomplishment. It boosts my day. I think their quiz-based approach to learning is exactly the right way. So you can get started now. First 200 to click my link, get 20% off at brilliant.org/bellular news.
Sense of accomplishment,
A
Pog.
30-day free trial. All right, that's brilliant. Check them out, and let's go. World of Warcraft, my home territory. This is going to be a fun one. Of course, World of Warcraft having a paid subscription would usually insulate it from most of the bad. Now, of course, MMO.
I mean, not anymore, bro. Like, that hasn't been the case for 10 years. Like, I've been mad about store mounts for over 10 years, and to be fair, Bellular has also been mad about store mounts for 10 years. But here's the truth, is that Final Fantasy does it, and people, listen,
People buy it.
if, for example, a restaurant could serve shit and have people eat it, they would serve shit and have people...
I've had certain scenarios where I went into a game and I was just like, I'm enjoying this game that I'm able to play for free. I'll throw some money at the developer because I'm enjoying my time. I can't think of that example right now, but I just know that I've done it. But when it's a much larger developer, Blizzard, I have a hard time, willing to fork over $15 for PvE experience that's available for a limited time. Like, they do a lot of bullshit.
The Icelandic developer of EVE Online,
Yeah.
who of course pioneered the pilot license extension Plex, which is basically just a way to kind of buy gold
Buy
in-game,
money.
but all
Yep.
in a way that is actually taking part in the player economy. Kind of interesting, but it's old news. Today what I want to focus on is the new thing that most non-WoW players will have no idea about, but makes for a great story. This is the trading post, right? Now the trading post is a little area in Stormwind.
The trading post is a battle pass system that's added into the game every month. That's what it is. It's basically a battle pass for the month.
I didn't
of
understand.
activities for you to do.
Orgrimmar, you go there, you click in the NPC, and what
And
you
it's
get...
great, by the way. The trading post is a universal W. Well, it was until now. But yeah, I actually think it's a great system. It's a great design. I think it's awesome.
Is every single month a different set of cosmetic items that you can purchase.
They're really
now,
cool.
they're purchased for a currency called Trader's Tender. You
Ooh,
get
tendies.
500 Trader's Tender from owning the Dragonflight expansion. You get 500 Trader's Tender per month that your account has subscription. And if you don't log in for a month, you don't lose it or anything. Then, of course, you get 500 a month by just playing the game.
Ooh,
And that
that's
means for
the
most
worst
people, you
part.
get 1,000 Trader's Tender a month. And for that Trader's Tender, you buy items on the store. Blizzard's intent, of course, is you can't buy everything in the store every single month. But
You have
that
to
is
pick.
going to be something that they
Some
can
stuff
do a little
comes
more,
back
okay?
around,
Because
I
as
think.
time goes on, things will rotate in and out of the store.
Right.
Broadly speaking, it's just a little bit more spice and reinforcement to play the game.
I think the Traders post is a universal W, and I have nothing bad to say about it at all. It's only good.
And broadly speaking, players
The only thing I didn't like was just the fact that I was forcefully guided to it and had to complete quests to get it out of my face.
cool cloak or a scarf or whatever, you could just go and get it. It actually felt good to players. It was a smart move. However, then things began to
I got that in
change. We found
2007.
this, the Guardian pack. Right here, you can see it costs...
Do you want to be Medivh, the guardian of Tirisfal, who opened the dark portal? Okay, well, give us $5. All right, well, now you're Medivh.
£6.80 in the UK. Now this gives you basically 3 items. But the disclaimer text says that this is a time-limited deal until May 31st, so it leaves the store at that point.
Ooh,
but
I missed out.
Items from the pack will arrive on the trading post between September 1st and December 3rd.
Right, so now there's this whole element of you can buy it now, or you can wait until these dates when it becomes available and gets cycled into the trading post. Which is, preying on people who want early access to cosmetics, and people pay money for that. Why?
There should not be any of this. But if there is any of it, this is probably the least painless one.
The idea here is, hey, do you want this thing early? If so, buy it now. Also, if you buy it now,
Least
then
painless.
you won't have to buy it
Least
with
painful.
your limited trader's tender in the future. What happens if these items come into the store in, between September and December, and the store just happens to be very expensive that
Maybe they should add Atieshin to this.
month? Well, that actually is going to be the case. So suffice to say, people who are maybe caught between getting the new shiny thing that's appeared in the store or the Guardian pack, if they've already
That'd be
bought
a
the
good
Guardian
idea.
pack, they're going to feel pretty good about all the tender that they saved.
Oh, yeah.
Now, this is where it gets interesting. A whole bunch of assets were data mined, and they looked like almost, mobile game gem bundles. They look like that. Ian has a coast.
Well, yeah, I wonder why.
Said, nope, we are not going to be selling Trader's Tender directly. They may be a part of, quote, significant bundles. Now, at the time, he mentioned the collector's edition of an expansion. He said, hey, if a collector's edition has got some Trader's Tender in it, that's pretty good because then somebody gets the cosmetic that they know they definitely want instead of just something that we've bundled in that they may not like.
Yeah,
And you know what? I think the Trader's Tender is just about a perfect thing to put on the collector's edition, tier of a game. That makes a lot of sense. But we always thought significant bundles. So expansion editions and perhaps the BlizzCon virtual ticket, but probably not anything more. That, however...
why the fuck do people even buy this? Like,
That's so baffling to me as well. Like, it's gonna come out in a few months. So, if you know anything about World of Warcraft's history and store mounts, anyone who has it before the range in which it can be acquired is gonna get it mentally /spit on, because you can't /spit on people anymore. And then when it comes out, then a bunch of other people are going to have it, and it's not as special anymore. So why?
Game. Primary reason.
These are just like little flower things you put in your wrist. Now, those corsages...
I'm shocked. Yeah, I know. Big surprise,
corsages
guys.
that I believe were on the store, and they cost either 150 or 100 traders tender. So it contains 2 of those worth 200 traders tender, but it also contains just 200 traders tender. So it is directly sold as a part of this bundle. Now, because of the way this bundle is, people are thinking, that's not a significant bundle. And now we're basically all thinking, oh shit, I know what they're doing. They're turning the screw. They're increasing the pressure. They are going to...
I don't know why they don't just add traders tender to the store. Why not just let people buy it? Like, I mean, you let people buy gold.
Yeah. Just further monetizing by abstracting it away from being a cost and adding in all these in-game currencies. You might as well have 5 in-game currencies. People are going to spend the money.
Yeah, just give them time. I mean, bro, like, just fuck the slippery slope. Push them off the cliff.
Right? Yeah.
To make
push them down the mountain, let it snowball.
Go on, but then they're going to start selling more and more small bundles with bonus tender in them.
Of course.
This very much seems like the start of that. Many would say, at least a few months ago, hey, you're making a slippery slope argument. Well, now that we have slid down that slope, I think we can,
slippery slope arguments, the reason why it's a...
Blizzard becomes
Avalanche. Are not
Avalanche.
fundamentally a fallacy. Slippery slope arguments become a fallacy whenever you draw a correlation between 2 unrelated things. There are, of course, many examples of things that are functionally a slippery slope argument of getting your foot in the door as a salesman or anchoring a price in the person's mind. Like, there are a lot of these techniques that exist in psychology, and people that use slippery slope, 95% of them don't even understand what it means or what the actual fallacy is versus what the actual implication is of it. Like an argument to authority, for example, this is not necessarily a bad thing. It's a bad thing whenever the authority is not attached to any sort of credibility on the topic.
Sure.
People don't know shit. It's not a slippery slope at all.
Look at how far we've slid and how much mud we're covered in. And this is where it gets interesting. So here, I calculated the cost, right? I've calculated every single month of the trading post.
What about Amanda?
Remember, you get 1,000 per month. So February, 5,025. March, 4,650. April, 4,725. May, 4,075. June, 5,750. You may think, oh, June, that's getting a wee bit more pricey.
That's a lot.
Oh boy, July, 6,200. However, they did give us a bonus 200 that could be earned in-game for July and August.
Oh, wow.
But August is where it really accelerated because the total cost of the trading post in August is 8,200. That is actually double the cost of May.
So what they're saying is they're going to make the game more realistic by adding in inflation? Oh, that's good.
Well, what they will do is
also the month where they had a $15...
They're going to create like a sense of scarcity because you won't be able to buy everything that exists in the trading post at that time. So that's kind of nice. Unless they start implementing, being able to buy the tender, then it doesn't matter anymore.
But here's where it gets more interesting. And it is these. These are class-based.
These are really cool, man. That's badass.
How much?
Well, I like them. The warrior one, I'm assuming, on the left, that looks cool.
based sets of armor. You can see here, these are the
Oh,
main
it's
bits
Paladin.
of armor that kind of define the
What the
silhouette of the
fuck?
character. They're designed for mixing and matching. We got those.
Where's
We
the
have
warrior
some.
one?
Look at these Paladin
Cthulhu
weapons. They
priest
look
armor?
sick,
Cool,
right?
yeah.
Now, the weapons cost 500.
Oh, wow.
And the armor for one class, of course, costs 450.
Oh, wow.
That's 950. And bear in mind
Oh,
that
wow.
one earns a maximum of 1,000 every single month.
Oh, wow.
They're doing 3 classes a month, and then in
Right.
December there'll be 4 classes. So that is like 2,850 more tender. And then other items have been data mined as well. So if we look
I
at
mean, I still think that's totally fine. I mean, like, am I the only person that doesn't think this is a big deal? Just because there are some OCD, hyper, like, weird fucking completionist people in the game, like, I don't think it's a big deal that they add in a bunch of new sets. Like, who cares? Oh my god, you can't buy every single one the day it comes out. It's broken. I have to get everything. Like, get the fuck out of it. Just relax.
Yeah.
Fucking relax.
It's purely cosmetic.
this price trend where we see August being 8,200, that is either going to stay the same or continue.
But it could be a dungeon drop. I unironically think the trading post is good for the game. I do. I don't think adding this as a dungeon drop into a Wrath of the Lich King dungeon would be any better.
Making things dungeon drops means you have to roll the dice and hopefully get what you want, and you have to rely on other people to group up and get through a dungeon in order to get that thing over and over again, potentially hundreds of times, depending on the drop rates. This means you play the game, you get some currency, you get the thing that you want. I like that design.
Bundle. At the same time, they have increased.
That's for a change compared to what what World of Warcraft normally does. This is design that actually cares about your time.
They are setting things up so the tender will be something that they can monetize via these small bundles like the Corsage pack or the Guardian.
It makes sense, right? Because you want to incentivize people to feel like they want to buy more tender, and so then they buy the packs to get more tender. Yeah, of course. As I said, I think that after the WoW token, everything else is on the table.
Sure.
You can buy anything with gold that you want in the game, and you can buy gold with real money. Cry me a fucking river, or if we're going to talk about them adding fucking cosmetics that you can buy into the... You can buy gold. Like, how does nobody even talk about... It's like nobody even talks about this. What the fuck?
Buy gold since
Gotcha
vanilla.
and WoW soon?
Even before it was available as something that was condoned by Blizzard, you could just buy gold.
Era right now. And there's no gotcha in Classic Era. There's no WoW tokens in Classic Era. You can go and play it right now. Yet? That's right. And for now, we can enjoy that. And on Hardcore WoW that's coming out in a few days, there's not going to be any of this shit. So I can just not think about it. It's sad to see what the game has turned into. But in a way, I don't even think it's the game's fault. It's the player base's fault. The player base has made the game what it is. They've accepted it, and Blizzard has just simply adapted to the audience. I'm not, like, that angry about this. Like, actually, that's not true. I am angry about it. I'm going to restart this game, by the way. I apologize if it's a little bit loud. I just want to make sure that I'm
angry about it, but over it, because it's been something you're angry about for a long time.
Just people have accepted this for years.
Yes.
They're complacent with it.
You're tired.
And they don't care. Like, anybody that plays WoW, like, I get shit on constantly for saying these things are problematic, and I'm sick of it. Give me a second. Sorry, guys. It's so fucking loud. Holy shit. Why is it so loud? I apologize, guys. This fucking game has such a dog shit queue system. I want to make sure that I'm, like, not stuck in the queue while I'm playing. Whenever I want to play. Okay. All right, we're good. Sorry. Anyway, Point is that, like, I mean, I'm not, again, am I crazy for not giving a fuck about cosmetics whenever you can buy and sell gold? You were the voice of reason when everyone else said you were a madman? Yes, everybody else said I was crazy.
Yeah,
Everybody
well,
was shitting on me. I was getting shit on constantly for years. Fuck it. This is what you get. You get what you fucking deserve.
I mean, I always had a sense of what makes this game great is here are these things that you can acquire, and when you are in a major city and you see a player with that thing that's so hard to get, then you're just like, wow, that is so cool. I want to get that too, and it's going to be hard. And to remove that artificial difficulty by just connecting it to a payment, the heart of what made World of Warcraft so cool in terms of the itemization, it's gone. It's been gone for a long time. And you could argue that even in vanilla World of Warcraft, back in the day, it was kind of already gone early on as soon as people figured out that they could create an underground business for selling gold. Because that gold not only translated into being able to buy things that you wanted off of the auction house, but being able to like pay people to then run you through all kinds of dungeons, whatever you wanted to acquire the items that you needed. So at this point, it really doesn't matter any way you slice it. It was a nice idea at heart, but the heart left a long time ago.
You have. This is exactly how they are doing it. Now, it's this, you know, the phrase to turn the screw, right? To increase the pressure. This is what actually made me make this video. I just thought, oh yeah, they're totally screwing up the pressure here. I think we should do a recap of all the things they're doing across their business so that people can understand how.
I don't know. I feel like the frog is already at boiling point temperature. If you want me to be honest, I think the frog is already overcooked. So, like, if you turn the temperature up at this point, the frog's been dead for 5 years. It's not even going to mind.
Companies trying to make money out of them. So that's World of Warcraft covered. However, next we're going to go to Call of Duty. Now, Call of Duty still retails for $70 USD. Warzone is free to play, and both COD and Warzone all share the same microtransaction store. Now, if you go to the...
Wasn't Warzone 1 so good on release, man? Dude, that was such a fun game. I had so much fun playing. It was actually such an incredible fucking game. Like the Gulag and the John McCain simulator, fucking the loadouts, being able to buy people back. Oh man. Dude, I remember like me and Nick and Train would play Warzone pretty regularly. It was so fun. I wish we could go back to that. It was like 2020.
Steam store, and remember, this is on the Steam store, just bonus packs.
Jesus.
You see a total of £343. That's maybe, I forget what the exact exchange rate is. Maybe that's like 500.
What? £343? Man, that's like almost 400 euro. That's like 500 Canadian. What? COD points.
Who is this guy?
Whackhound.
Do contain like mild pay to win elements, but they
Keemstar.
still are player power for buying.
Oh, here we go. Snoop Dogg, Return of the Shizzle.
Oh my god.
And it's Snoop Dogg with two fucking machine guns. That one looks like Keemstar, to be fair. Holy
oh, it's Warhound,
shit,
not Whackhound. I just read it wrong.
Really,
I'm just dyslexic. Dark Rituals 3.
playing the thing. So, I'm sorry, it's the principle that counts. Now, within Call of Duty, there is actually the option to earn enough Call of Duty points within a Battle Pass to purchase the next Battle Pass.
That's
This
cool.
is something that is
That's
not
great.
done in Diablo 4
No,
or
it's
in
not.
Overwatch 2.
True.
So usually there is 300 per season on the free track or 1,300 COD points on the full Battle Pass. But the thing is, very obviously, you can just spend those in-game. Most of the desirable bundles cost 2,400 points.
Oh, there it is.
I noticed that too. Kevin Durant operator bundle.
Nothing
Why?
says Call of Duty more than Kevin Durant with a green beret and an AK-47.
It looks
with
so
Homelander
ridiculous.
And fucking Snoop Dogg, and there's also a rabbit. And there's a cat operator as oh my god.
What
Does
are
the
we
cat
looking
like,
at?
I feel like being a cat would be bad because wouldn't it make the hitbox bigger?
Ugh.
You can play as Messi? Oh my god.
The community are now really quite pissed off about.
What is this?
Since May, they've started to put those out at 3,000 points.
Was that
But
30
the point
bucks?
is that while, yeah, your battle pass gives you 1,300 points and you can buy the next battle pass with it, the real goal is to bring you into the ecosystem, right?
Oh,
now,
yeah.
the thing is, what if you want Black Cell? Because Black Cell is their latest revenue innovation, and this is something that actually was soaring up the Steam.
This is okay. So it's premium battle pass. I get it. Yeah, they changed the name. This actually hoodwinked me for a good 3 seconds. But yeah, okay. So this is just an upgraded version of a battle pass. So it's just like another tier of battle pass. Good one. Really good idea.
The fact that it's a tiered battle pass is so sad.
Steam. So Black Cell is a premium battle pass on top of the paid battle pass that gives you additional rewards that can only be purchased with real money. So it itself has got like new unique things. But also Black Cell...
is this that anime girl that they put on the gun that talks to you like a scuffed version of Cortana?
Yes. Scuffed Cortana is a perfect way of putting
That's it, right? Yeah? Okay, I thought so.
Basically, it changes up some of the pathing in the Battle Pass to give you a bit more freedom and unlock some of the more high-ticket things a bit earlier. At least one of the Black Cell passes did that. And yes, every time Black Cell releases, it goes to near the top of the Steam charts.
You want to know my unironic ranking for like I haven't played Warzone in so long, I'm not even sure. You know what I think the best BR is? Fortnite. I think it's the best BR. It's the best playing BR. Yeah. I think it's incredible. It's a great game. Apex, I think Apex is a great game.
Now that
I
they
like Fortnite
have
more,
no building mode, I'm
course
kind of
that's
curious
something
to
to
try it
consider.
because I
Apex
think the
is
building
great.
is annoying. The building seems really annoying, so I might try the no build version of Fortnite. But I'd be more inclined to play Apex, even though I'd have to get used to however many champions they have now, or legends, and what their abilities are and what makes sense. But like, all those games are kind of tough.
It's just not that important of a game.
Nobody
But
cares.
it did launch with a free battle pass for pre-ordered copies, and of course, you know, if you didn't
The
pre-order...
Crash Team Rumble, you know what this feels like? This feels like whenever somebody has like a loved one resurrected as a zombie and they have to kill them. You know, and something like, I don't know if they did this in The Walking Dead, never really watched it, but it's like one of those things where it's like you have this childhood game that you love, and it has like a battle pass now, and there's like fucking
Baldur's
like an NPC
Gate
that
3 did
shames
that.
you for not spending money, you know.
Then, yeah, you got to pony up for the Battle Pass. That's, of course, to get that continued engagement after launch. Now, of course,
Get
as
the
we know,
Wampus.
these are practices that are
Jesus.
making their way over from Call of Duty towards the other games. So let's talk about
Ooh.
Overwatch 2.
Oh,
I'll do
God.
this quick because we've talked about this game a lot anyway. So there's one good positive here, and that is no loot boxes. The problem, of course, is everything else that followed, because look,
Yeah.
with those
Everything
loot
is
boxes,
locked
they
behind
sucked.
paywalls.
Every time you leveled up, you got one, and that meant that your average Joe playing the game could...
I don't know why they don't just add loot boxes back and make it to where you can't buy them. Like, wouldn't that just make the game better and make people want to play it more?
Yeah.
Because, like, I guarantee you, people probably burn out and they stop playing, and then they don't come back and spend more micro.
And people were incentivized when the role queue was a big problem. They would incentivize, like, hey, you can get faster queue and you'll earn more like XP or points or whatever if you go through these queues instead.
Boxes from winning or playing a game. The reason why it was so good is it provided a progression system that was beyond just ranking up. Because this is a problem that a lot of these like competitive games have, is that people will like rank up and they'll go from like, you know, bronze to silver, from silver to gold, and then maybe go
back
from
down
gold
again
to like plat or something like that. And then they'll just kind of sit there, right? And so if somebody's sitting at plat and they're plateauing, and what the fuck is their progress in the game? What are they doing? And I think that if you have cosmetics that you can work towards, at least you're doing something. You win the game, you lose the game, you still make progress towards something. And the cosmetics were that available.
However, when you would watch like Overwatch League, which was the thing many Overwatch players would aspire to be like, then they had their own custom skins for Overwatch League. In which case, you either had to pay to get those, or you would just go with like a default skin. So like, the skins aren't really that much of an incentive anymore, because that's all you can get out of the loot boxes. Oh, and the voice lines and whatever, but like, the one thing I did like was like the stickers, but even then, as a Canadian, I had to wait to unlock the Canadian flag. Why are the country flags locked behind random roles? It's so weird.
They want money? Well, here's the thing, man.
Well, they want money.
It's like you're not going to get any money from a person who's plateaued out on their ELO, and they're just not going to play anymore because there's no progress and nothing that they're doing in the game. They're just playing the same game over and over and over again with no progress, no movement, no progression, no goal, nothing. That's the problem.
True.
So, like, whenever those people aren't getting into the game, well, if they're not playing the game, they're not going to be spending money on it.
During a new event, actually have a shot
at
getting those new skins and stuff by just playing the game. That is essentially dead now. So Overwatch 2 has followed the COD seasonal model, but it's actually made things so much worse. Number one, rapid seasons, but the Battle Pass on the store launched the same day as the game, unlike in Call of Duty, where that stuff's actually delayed post-launch. New characters are locked behind the Battle Pass, and the Battle Pass does not have enough currency within it to purchase your next Battle Pass. This immediately...
A very important context for this, you know, like I as I said, I've shit on Overwatch a lot, but the characters in competitive are not available immediately whenever they're put out into the game. So you do have enough time to farm them. It's not like you have to buy them day one of them being released in order to play. So it is it makes it, it's not good, but it's better.
Drew a lot of ire. Progression was kind of slow, everything felt messy. It started as a bad product and continued on as such. Some things have got better. At least when they do events now, they contain an absolute boatload of, of XP, and unfortunately, sometimes Jeff Bezos will give you some Battle Pass tiers because that's the world that we live in. Thanks, Jeff. Now, to continue, you've got the in-game challenges, right? These are part of the free-to-play model. Now, these in-game challenges, if you did all of your weekly challenges from launch, it would have taken you from launch to May of 2023 to be ordered to be able to afford a legendary skin. So it's pretty bad if a game is saying, hey, either...
Don't they have mythic skins that are even more than that?
Grind for 6 months or pay $20. The rotating storm.
I don't understand. Like, they have so many characters and so many skins. Why not let people earn them faster? Because, like, you know, for example, like, you have to keep people on the hamster wheel. It's kind of like the carrot on a stick analogy, is that if you put the carrot too far away from the horse doesn't keep going towards the carrot. You put the carrot on the moon, the horse is like, I'm not going to get, fuck that. That's the issue, is the carrot's too far away.
the thing that is actually, you know, one's attention is drawn to, it only really shows things in the context of a bundle. And these are skin bundles that usually just have, honestly, a bunch of shite thrown into them that people won't exactly want. Now, here's the Cyber Mega bundle, right? But do you know what the really funny thing is? And by the way, this bundle's like, it's got a whole bunch of stuff. You can see 3,200 Overwatch points instead of the 7,700 that all of these things would otherwise cost. Of course, you can see there there's 3 legendary skins. So in short, you can play the game for very minimal reward, or you can just buy rewards of all kinds.
58%
This, of course, is a
value.
bad incentive to actually play the game.
Spoiled by Diablo
Going forward, though,
Immortal.
we're going to have paid campaign missions. These were controversial because the game was supposed to come with this PvE stuff, but of course they had a very seemingly necessary production pivot. Now, here's the odd thing.
And keep in mind that the profit, the way that it was going to work is that you were able to play, you would have to pay money to do the PvE version of the game, but it was a one-time payment, the same as Overwatch 1 was a one-time payment. And the PvP was free to play. It was kind of like Call of Duty, right? Where like you have Warzone that's free to play, but if you want to play the actual Call of Duty, you have to spend money for the campaign and everything. So it's the exact same thing.
Halo Infinite did the exact same thing as well.
Even in the original system, this is a downgrade because, like, I mean, the game. How much would the game be, right? Like $70. Okay, so like after a year playing the game, you would have saved money if you bought every single battle pass for like the PvE content.
Technically speaking, in terms of value, the missions only cost $5, but they don't, because the only way to buy them is to get the $15 bundle, which does contain 1,000 Overwatch coins, which is enough for the premium battle pass, meaning it's a $10 equivalent. It also comes with a brand new Sojourn legendary skin, 19 USD value, and permanent access to Sojourn as a playable hero for new players. And of course the missions. So you can see there, it's 29 USD value plus whatever value you put to the missions. Or you could buy the
arbitrarily
at $40,
valued,
which
arbitrarily valued
30 USD value premium battle pass. Then 1,000 coins more for a total of 2,000 coins, which is a 20 USD value.
Wow.
Meaning, oh, and also 2 legendary skins for Cassidy and Kiriko.
I mean, again, like I don't really have a problem. Like, you know, for real. Like, I mean, it's a USD value, or that's good boy points, right? But like, it's basically real money. But I don't know. I think it's fine. I just think it's overpriced.
Yeah.
$38. So that's what, $38, 58, 68, 78,
Cut the money.
88
Yeah,
bucks
it's just overpriced.
of value for $40. You can quite see.
I mean, you know who's to blame for all this, but they've also done it in a way that I like the most. Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike put in skins in their game, but you can trade them in for currency that's store credit on Steam so you can buy other games. That's what I like about it. If they did it so that you could have like Blizzard credit where you could sell your skins in for a certain value on like a third party, or not third party, but a market within the ecosystem, that would be cool. But instead, they do this, and it sucks.
You still employed at the company. How does that happen? Like, it's like insane.
Saved, but how it could be significantly redeemed. I will not belabor that point, and I shall do that as a future video. I do at least want to try to give back, or at least throw some ideas into the mix that allow Overwatch 2 to be a free-to-play game that people might actually like to play. Because at the very least, if I do that, then I suppose that idea can be the anvil upon which Blizzard are hammered. That seems a bit aggro. Okay, Diablo 4. So this is a game at the start of its life cycle, and it's only getting started on its monetization journey. You know, it's just a monetization talk.
I was just curious to see what's going on.
Of course, it's a paid
with
game.
Blizzard.
It has no free-to-play option like with Warzone.
Do you guys think that there's going to be, like, which season do you think they're going to add a boost
Adapt
to
or
50
die
if you buy a battle pass tier? You guys are thinking 3 or 4? Season 2. Tomorrow. It's going to get announced tomorrow. 4? Okay. All right. So people are not very... I mean, like, again, remember, I have the $500 bet So we'll see what happens. I've got 6 months. And it's only been 3 months. So we've got 2 more seasons.
Cost $70, had a store from day one, a battle pass tied to the seasons. But where it is different is, of course, the expectations of continued paid expansions, which will significantly alter the base game, likely in the way that Reaper of Souls did. Now, on the seasonal model, it is the ubiquitous situation, a free pass that contains shite, a $10 premium one, and a $25 fast premium tier. Now,
I feel like I'm one of those boomers that just literally doesn't give a fuck about this shit at all. Like,
Yeah.
I actually, like, if there's a cosmetic you get from this...
All of these value adds that they're assigning random numbers to, like, I just want to play the game. Is the experience good?
Care what the battle pass rewards are. I'm only going to look up the battle pass for like the little things that I need to click to give me more experience that you get from the free track. Like, I haven't even redeemed all my rewards from the battle pass. I think I finished it. I don't even know. Like, I just don't give a fuck. I don't know why people care.
These run in 3-month blocks, and of course they went for the rather meme-like, oh, it's the number of the beast, 666, that's how much premium currency you get, when of course that's actually not enough premium currency to buy anything in the in-game shop.
Yep.
I believe, certainly not anything you'd actually want, and it's of course not enough to buy the next battle pass, which in a game that has an upfront cost, I think is really shitty and terrible. So, that's not particularly great. And on the store, the developers have been very adamant.
It's just it's monetized too many times.
Yeah.
That they don't want players to feel like anything available in the store is necessarily
What
better.
if Nvidia
Just charge it all up front, or don't charge for it, because it's not actually worth money.
There could be an employee from one of those companies that could be watching the stream right now. Do not ever type that. Do not utter those words ever again in a public space. I probably should ban you for just saying that. To be fair, didn't Apple just lose a lawsuit on planned obsolescence, where they're owing between $500 and $200 million to customers? Thank God for that. Massive W.
Than what they can get in the game.
He's just saying,
the
viewer was just saying, oh, what if there was a battle pass that like restricted how well your computer could perform? So even if you have a nice computer, everything just runs at 1 frame per second, unless you buy certain tiers to get 30, 60, 144.
Thing is, if you want to actually lean into an aesthetic, you know, have your rogue almost have this like backstory told in their gear that, you know, they spent time in the forests hunting pelts and how they, you know, they wear wolves and shit.
Yeah.
Like, that seems like the sort of thing that should be in-game armor. No, it's not. There's one that's like a sort of a jester, an evil-looking stabby jester.
Oh.
Looks really cool.
Like Gauntlet,
Premium.
Dark Legacy.
And when you compare
That
it
was my
to
main
the
character.
very, very vanilla-looking ones that you get just
Yeah.
playing the game, no, absolutely, this is a cash shop that feels like a cash shop. It feels bad. It doesn't feel like more options. It feels like if you want any options other than the sort of default small, like, I don't know, Venn diagram, whatever, of gear, of aesthetics, you gotta pony up.
I mean, it also feels like the sort of thing that you just get when you involve yourself with a AAA publisher. Like, if you're part of Activision Blizzard, these are just the things you've come to expect now. But these sorts of IPs can't escape from that. They were manifested there. So it is what it is.
Because it makes me feel like I'm a fucking... I'm like... like, my character looks like it was made by Frazetta, you know? And, like, I don't want to see some over-designed fucking battle pass set with, like, a bunch of spikes and skulls on the spikes, and then the spikes have, like, eyes that are glowing.
I agree with that. Things don't have to match. I just want to be, like, put together with stuff that I scavenged and found, because that's real.
The same way about the fucking Necromancer, too. No, I like both of them. So, Like, I don't really care a lot about the cosmetics. It's just not a big deal.
Yeah, very secondary.
Feels bad because
even when I'm playing Baldur's Gate 3, there was a one time when I wanted to show the helmet because I was like, this is kind of a cool helmet, but then I was like, I'm just gonna hide all the helmets.
I don't have other things in.
I mean, $1 would be overpriced.
Yeah,
it's lines of code. Like, there's no.
They're artifacts. They're not real.
It's all bullshit.
There's no tangibility, therefore no value.
Prepared by the as always wonderful Connor on our team. However, there are some other things. A really good example.
Bro, can you imagine if Levagast, if what was his friend's name? I know his friend's name is Levagast on Twitter. The Final Fantasy guy. I haven't seen him on a video for a long time. Matt, yeah. Can you imagine how long this video would be if Matt was on this video?
Oh, he'd go off. He's very
like
good.
A 1.5 hour video.
This Hearthstone, you know, where they did the Battlegrounds mode, the auto battler, and the only way that
Matt's
they could
hot now.
Yeah, I actually like.
mode of Hearthstone was funny enough to just sell cosmetics. Now that.
It's a social game though. You want to look fancy and extra, have the cool stuff. Oh, I don't like you.
But the community just bounced back against mercenaries so hard that yeah, they can't.
That person is part of the problem. Like, oh, but if I spend money, I can look cool and extra. Like, fuck off.
Right now, there's because they have these like premium signature cards, right? They're like old diamond, crazy looking things. And, you know, I remember there was like a diamond Drekthar card that cost a stupid amount of money, and they actually went back in that and refunded everybody. But this new one they've done for the Titans expansion, it's 3 cards for like $45. It's like, man, 3 legendaries for $45? Like, that's crazy. And I know we're in a world where, oh, Post Malone buys the One Ring in Magic the Gathering, but still. I think you get my point. And even Hearthstone, it is quite ridiculous in the in how its monetization is going. So really,
I just think this entire thing is ridiculous. Like,
the thing is, that card, the One Ring, that's a real thing. He's holding that card. He's put it into sealers and it's been rated and like that, and he has that card. That's different. I get it. It's still just a card. It's cardboard with some printing on it, so it's not that valuable. But it's far more valuable than the lines of code that exist in the cloud.
Every fucking Friday, and most Fridays, I'd say 80% of Fridays, I would make my fucking money back from the draft because I would get enough packs, and I would have them ready for the next fucking draft. It was like a battle pass in real life.
Yeah, Magic the Gathering's so dope.
I don't get how people would want it. I'm not the target audience, I guess.
All of this is to say
this to Crip. I was so mad at him whenever I started playing this game, like 10 years ago.
I want to return to World of Warcraft just for another example.
I remember Cora played a lot too. I got mad at her too.
You don't need to buy these. Twitch, I say, look, if you're playing Overwatch 2 and you're playing Overwatch 2 just because you think it's fun and you want to be better,
good for
more
you.
Power to you.
Yeah.
That's actually how I play Overwatch 2. Again, I think Overwatch 2 is an excellent game, but a bad product. Now, whenever I play it,
That's a really good insight. I agree with him.
You're bound to get mad because people don't know how to play it at the highest levels of play. But I mean, if you just want to play it going into it knowing what it's going to be, sure. This new like 5-person role queue thing is kind of tough because I've been so far removed from what the metas are. I don't know what all the combinations are anymore. There are tanks I don't recognize. Doomfist became a tank. It's very strange.
You know, if I want if I want my goopy brain to be tickled about, maybe I just go and play a single player game that's going to be very rewarding to play, or even something with some creativity. Like, I don't know, like honestly, even a Minecraft
single player game like New World.
There's such
Baldur's Gate 3. I see it in chat.
Monetization is actually bad for players. So in WoW, of course, you have mounts, right? Now, back in the day, And I think everybody who's played WoW probably knows the Netherwing Drake. And if you don't know by name, here's what they look like. These were like, seen the Burning Crusade?
Yeah.
This was like the coolest. Like the Ashes of Alar and these guys, they were like the coolest mounts to own, right? Now, the way that this worked is you did a reputation, right? You know, it was maybe 30 days of some grinding, 20 days, whatever, and you get this mount at the end. So you'd see people with that and you think, oh, wow, you know, you did that. That reputation was like the only time you saw Illidan outside of the Black Temple raid, which is quite bizarre. Later on, in Mists of Pandaria, you had the Order of the Cloud Serpent, where it's basically that sort of Chinese dragon. I think they look awesome, but you learned how to ride one over the course of that reputation, and at the end of the reputation, you got to buy the mounts. Then what happened in Warlords of Draenor, right? It was before Warlords. They had this, the Fey Dragon. Now, the Fey Dragon is...
The funniest fucking thing about this is I remember Belior and I did a video about this exact topic, talking shit about it, literally like 10 years ago, whenever it came out. I remember this so fucking well because I stayed up until like 6 in the morning. It was me, him, and Heel versus Babyface. And we fucking shit on this for like 2 hours.
It's a pretty cool looking mount. There it is. Now, this is something that's quite hilarious because this just appeared in the store out of the blue.
Yeah.
It was only in 2014's Warlords of Draenor expansion that we saw a place in Shadowmoon Valley called the Dracorium. And it turned out that's actually where the local Draenei raised these Fey dragons. And that's when I realized it. This was a store mount. Why can I not earn one in game?
And the thing is also, this was right off of the heels of them adding the Rylak mount during fucking Siege of Orgrimmar. And the Rylak mount, and like, so it was totally unique, totally new. It was the first one they ever added into the game. And then they added the Siege of Orgrimmar, like, Raider achievement, was just Galakras, which was like, it's just another Proto-Drake. So, like, the store gets, like, this super unique, cool mount, and, like, the game gets this fucking reskin with, like, armor on it. Like, who cares? And I remember I made a video, and it had, like, the 2 pictures of the mounts with, like, a greater than sign for the Rylak, and it said, "Let's be real." I don't remember what video this was, but, like, I was so fucking pissed off about this. Like, this is, it's like rage nostalgia for me to see this.
Speaking of rage nostalgia,
I didn't even know that was a thing.
I might try this game again.
It's actual rage nostalgia.
Because it was a store mount. And then I think back to the Order of the Cloud Serpent. And what do I think? I'm like,
just for the sake of getting mad.
I had this whole reputation where I, you know, helped the people who do things with the Cloud Serpents. I learned how to ride one, and then I got one at the end, and that was a cool piece of content. Then I looked at Warlords of Draenor. I was like, why is there not a reputation at the Dracorium? And at the end, I get the mount.
Dude, oh my god. We literally fucking talked about this. It was like 10 years ago, whenever this shit happened.
I'm sure.
And I said, why the fuck is it not attached? Because there were these reps in WAD, and the reps, like, you didn't do anything with the reputations. Like, they had, like, they gave you nothing. They would just give you, like, actually, they did give you something. They would just give you a, like, a fucking, like, a reskinned boar. So, like, you would farm out the rep at the vendor for the fucking Fey dragons, and then they would give you a boar. And the Fey dragons are, like, right there. It's like the guy's name is basically Fey Dragon Vendor, and he sells you a fucking boar. No, the red. Boar. No, that one was from.
Okay.
That was from Tan
Never mind.
Jungle. I remember that you had to farm the
uninstall
fucking, those not silverback, fucking saber stalkers reps.
Changed my mind.
I remember that. I farmed that myself. Plus the Pexus crystals, yeah, the claws. Oh my god.
That they raise at the Dracorium.
Yes.
It's a store mount. And as time went on, we saw this pattern more and more and more. You have the likes of the Sovarian Dreamer. It's quite a beautiful looking mount that...
oh, bro. Like, where is this? Where is this, dude? Asmongold 8.2 store mount rage. All right, I don't want to go into like too much of that. Wake mount. is as soon as people were starting to lose a little bit of interest in the game, they created this mount as an incentive. I don't be removed.
Where is it?
Let's think about some rewards for this, okay? This mount right here, Glory of the Ashara.
God, dude.
This mount right here, collecting or looting 5. Wizard, oh, I'm so hyped! Wow. To buy this new mount for a game I've already paid for 3 times. Ooh. Oh, thank you. Oh, I'm so hyped. Wow.
God, bro, like.
Mount. I mean, Reddit is already going crazy over it. They're hyped as shit. They're buying 8 of them at a time. Reddit loves it. Reddit is buying their wife's son these mounts, man.
Did you buy the cock mount? No, is it actually on Reddit? Like, they better not be happy about this. Are you serious?
Oh my god.
As a heart attack.
6 months, that's it.
Serious as a heart
what's the rest
attack.
of these? Aw, shit. Here we go again. Wait, why am I dead? Okay, just a second.
It's so fucking funny, man. It is so fucking funny for me to see this shit. Because I remember whenever every single one of these store mounts was out, I remember what I was doing. I remember, like, when I got mad. Yep.
As it turns out, is raised in Ardenweald in the Shadowlands
Yes.
expansion. Why can we not earn a Sylvarian Dreamer in-game? Because it was a store/6th month subscription bonus mount.
Yep.
It wasn't in-game content. And then a lot of the time when you look at the mounts in World of Warcraft these days, it very much is the case that, like, okay, personal preferences are applied to this. There's many cases I do prefer the in-game mounts included in my sub to, I can just go and earn. Often I do prefer those to the store ones, but generally speaking, the store mounts have the most love and attention. They are the highest ticket items.
Well, they have the most attention put into them, even if you like the... Like, I think one of the greatest mounts of all time in WoW is the original Gnomish flying machine.
That was a great one.
I do.
I always wanted
It's one
that.
of the greatest mounts ever made.
But you had to be a high-level
It's
engineer.
a fucking flawless, beautiful mount that reminds me of Warcraft 2. And it is time. The Ravenlord, bro. Like, the Ravenlord was fucking lit. Memoron's head. Well, Memoron's head was good because it had a good sound to listen to in the background while you were masturbating. But that's something different. We're not going to talk about that right now.
Excuse me?
The point is that, like, there's a lot of those simplistic mounts that were incredible. But it's undeniable that the store mounts had more work put into them.
The encorseled whatever worm. There's another like a mana
sperm worm.
that is one of the taxi point mounts in Dragonflight.
Shadowlands.
And again, that was a pre-order
Not
bonus
Dragonlands,
or on the
Shadowlands.
store. So they're continually basically grabbing things
Articuno.
from the next expansion and they're putting them in the store now.
Yeah.
So instead of that, being...
Remember this one? Remember whenever we got people to come out, and I think it was, didn't Tiger Panda buy this mount? And then he was out in front of Stormwind and he used the fucking, the mount special, and I, like, logged off and I got really mad. It's like, I remember this so well.
Yeah.
Cool, very thematic reputation.
And I remember, remember whenever they added the first cosmetic armor set, and it was that stupid clown set, and I'm like, what kind of fucking idiot buys this? And I go into Dalaran, and Tiger Panda is sitting there with the full set on. Oh my god. And then I was sitting there getting mad about it, and then more people showed up. Yeah, the fairy suit, exactly.
We maybe raise a dragon at the end. We get the dragon as a mount. No, it's stuff in the store. That's just like one example of how something could be a really cool in-game reward that could be tied to content that you would want to play and a story that the developers of the game would love to make, but instead it was yanked out of that and it was put onto the store, and it's just a very short-term carrot. And I think for me, all I see here is short-termism. Everywhere, short-termism. Can you imagine if Overwatch did not lose cultural capital? Can you imagine if with Overwatch they said, listen everyone, we really cocked up development.
Overwatch could have had the same level of relevance and clout that Valorant does. Like, you could have been able to get e-girls by playing Overwatch. Oh god, no, alright, never mind.
No, I'll skip that one.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to you guys, the players, and I'm sorry to the team because they worked on a lot of stuff and it's just not going to see the light of day. This sucks. What we're going to do is we're going to make the best of it. We're going to launch Overwatch 2 and it's going to be like this. And then they hadn't done all the things that turned the players against them. You can still have a battle pass, but put enough Overwatch coins in the battle pass to earn the next one. And if you're not going to do that, make it be a battle pass that never expires and can be swapped back to, like the Halo Infinite one. They could have kept on doing things like that would have actually felt good to players. But at every single turn, the move towards the short-term money thing was made.
Yep.
Even Diablo 4. D4, great launch experience. Very fun first time. Fun playing through it and different characters, different builds. Season 1, undercooked. It's just not that big of a season.
Well, I think undercooked would imply that it was being cooked. I don't even know if it was in the oven. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure, guys. Like, the barber being that OP, I mean, did they test it? Well, why would they? We did it for them.
The end game, undercooked. Right? That's not the time to start putting in your hyper-expensive cash shop. I know you want the money now. I know the short-termism of the people who ultimately sign off on the budget for the dev team. Their short-termism is very strong and they want the money now. But the thing is, you do it too early and, what are you doing? That's right. Was it cutting your face to spite your nose? Cutting your nose to spite your face?
Yeah,
I don't... Basically... Blizzard Entertainment hurt itself in its
Well, it's like whenever you try to, if you're trying to get a cat to trust you, you don't just try to, fucking, wrestle the cat down, You have to, come here, you pet it a little bit, and then you pet it a little bit more, and then you gradually get it to come in the house, and then you feed it, and then it's your cat now, right? You don't just fucking, put a little trap with a laundry basket and you pull the stick out and the cat's trapped and you're like, ha, gotcha. And that's what they do. That's what Blizzard's trying to do, man.
Just the confusion is a bunch of, I don't know if the freaking MBAs get in. Because that's the sad thing with Blizzard Entertainment. Their artists are magnificent, The cinematics they can put together are incredible. Their games look incredible. I mean, Overwatch 2 is gorgeous.
Looks nice.
Those character, even Alari, the new hero. Oh, what a great design. Really fun to play hero. Really great, character design, the voice, everything's just pitch perfect. Great game developers. Absolutely being led by people guilty of a lot of short-termism. And that short-termism is obviously causing a lot of long-term harm. And that is how Blizzard has been able to snatch cultural...
That's the thing that hurts the most. Overwatch, not Overwatch 2, whatever the heck that means, would have been so good if it wasn't being driven by greedy decision makers who are focused on profit instead of making a great game. The new currency in this day and age in gaming is good faith, and there's no good faith for Overwatch.
That's why I say defeat from the jaws of victory. World of Warcraft's got a great expansion. Overwatch 2, when it is just the game the devs made and not everything else around it, is a great game. Diablo 4, flawed, great but with flaws.
I think these games are okay. I don't agree that they're this amazing personally. I'm gonna be honest, I really don't. I think that they're okay. Diablo 4, if you actually look at the core nuances of the game, there's a lot of really big problems, whether it's collision issues, rubber banding problems, hitboxes, spell indicators. The game actually has a lot of problems. And Overwatch, for example, I find it to be very disorienting and bad that whenever I'm being healed or attacked, half of my screen is yellow or red. On the corners, I find that to be very, it's sensory overload. And I don't think it shouldn't have to be like that. There's no reason that is mandatory for it to be like that. I don't understand it. And it's the same thing with WoW. WoW has a lot of problems too with the amount of abilities the game has. Mythic Plus having these toxic systems key down ranking and raiding, having it to you have to clear a bunch of trash to do a raid, and
it takes forever, and then by the time that you actually clear the trash, you have to summon, you don't have a warlock, you have to go out and summon people. Like, there's all of these big problems that the game has.
Yeah.
And I feel like you should take these seriously. Like, I mean, I don't think these games are, like, I think they play relatively well, yeah. But, like, whenever you get down to the nuts and bolts of them, they have a lot of problems.
Had everything to win. We all know who and what forces have ended up in all those victories just being made impossible. What a crazy and sad situation. I think most of all sad, because, like, for us, we can just go do something else. But for the people who work in these games, who can, like, the people, you know, you work in a Larry, and you try to make a Larry.
It's like, imagine you work your fucking ass off, and you're, like, trying to make the best game possible, and you're the guy that was able to make, you know, like, one of the really cool bosses that everybody likes in WoW, or you make this really cool mount, and it's like your passion project, and then finally, you know, like, you get it submitted.
Some prick who works on the business side makes this decision that makes everybody just hate this thing.
Fucking, like, everybody is shitting on it because it's on the store, and then you make a comment under the tweet, and then people are accusing you of stealing breast milk and saying that you're killing the game. And it's like, what a big surprise that they're having problems, you know, like that's the life of a fucking Blizzard developer. Like, I bet it probably sucks. I bet it probably fucking sucks.
I bet the pay doesn't suck though.
6 months ago, they didn't even have to do they didn't have to do with any of this shit.
I bet the benefits package doesn't suck.
You put a lot of effort in, you animate everything to be just right. Your release comes out and it's 9% on Steam, and the whole internet's against you. Can you imagine how shit that's going to feel to that person? And in a reality where every bit of work that they did was stellar. The new PvP maps, let's say they're stellar. It wouldn't matter. You know, the developers are being so screwed over by the people who lead them. That ultimately is the situation that we are left with. Blizzard is turning the screw. This is a company that needs to start playing the long game. It's as simple as that. Long-term thinking gets you long-term results. That's what you need. Short-term thinking does damage. That's what we're seeing. That's it for me. Of course, check out our sponsor. They support and actually make this show possible. I would not be able...
This is one of the things that a lot of, I think especially Japanese companies do a lot better, it seems, is that they have, like, a much more long-term perspective in, like, making profit and, like, making products than, like...
More interested in good faith of the consumer rather than trying to milk them for every dollar they can up front.
What it's like over there, like, in terms of corporate expectations. I don't know if it's the same or not. So I can't really speak to that, but it certainly seems like Japanese countries, or again, companies, do a much better job at that.
To, like, if it was just YouTube AdSense money, we are running
I think this is like a systemic
American
problem.
Sponsors that actually let us keep the lights on. So thank you to them. With that said, I'll see you next time.
There it is. There it is. A lot of Nintendo games pump DLCs every few months. Yeah, but somehow they don't damage their reputation in the same way that Blizzard does. So I think that's really what matters, right? They're doing it in a way that is somehow agreeable with the player base, and I think that does matter. So let's go back. Japanese companies have crunch too. Yeah, but the difference, I'll link you guys the video. This is a great video from Belluer. Like, I saw this, it got recommended. I thought it was kind of a long video, but I figured, fuck it, I'll sit through it and watch it. I'm glad I did. I mean,
it's abundantly obvious that Activision...
I think also, like, the crunch and, like, the employee experience playing, like, making a game
must be terrible.
Matters for sure.
I wanted to be in game development ever since I was a kid, and I was discouraged from pursuing coding because I was told I was bad at math. Now, much later, I'm pursuing a career as a programmer in web development, but I still want to design games on the side. And it's so scary to think about joining a company like this. I wouldn't want anything to do with it. I'd rather be in some indie dev situation where hopefully the indie dev doesn't decide to go with a major publisher who's going to force stuff like this down our throats. But I mean, I'll probably end up just doing it as a hobby and not being part of a company doing that.
Like, the problem with a lot of these games is Belluer is right. He summed it up at the end. It's short-term thinking. Like, everything that they do is like a short-term plan, and that is it. There's no like long-term like methodology to this. Or
It's a public company. Investors, stakeholders expect results within a reasonable amount of time, and the amount of time it takes for earning good faith and designing good games over the long term is not fast enough for the investor.
Nike is $1 billion company, so nobody cares about working conditions. The
Right.
customer doesn't give a fuck about that.
Nope.
Like, what we talk, everybody's like, oh wow, Amazon, bro, Amazon's making people piss in bottles. That's horrible. Well, yeah, no, I'm gonna order on Amazon Prime.
We've been ignoring bad working conditions for years, far before Amazon.
Yeah, nobody cares. Nobody actually cares. People only care in a theoretical sense where it doesn't affect them. And not nobody, of course. Oh, well, I care. Yeah, I don't want to argue with you. But, like, I think most people at large, do not care.
Care in the sense that, like, it's not going to change the decisions that they make. They're still going to buy Amazon Prime, as he said. There's been terrible working conditions reported for a long time. Lots of people in Canada and America and around the world use Amazon.
Same. It doesn't matter. And, like, that's the argument that I'm making about this whole thing, right? Is that the customer does not care about how hard it was to do anything. Like, that doesn't mean anything.
The customer cares, how much do I have to pay? If I'm paying the same amount and the conditions have worsened, well, fuck them.